Chapter 10:17. As soon as the delaying rune appeared, the essence chi in the air became extremely sluggish. The 5 superclass geniuses and the white-clothed man were all held up in the air. Their faces were filled with shock. Instant light, split shadow. Lin Chen's doppelgangers shouted in unison. Their bodies surged with dazzling calamity battle chi, and all of their half-orange ring combat skills were unleashed. They actually used all of their orange ring talents and offensive runes at once. Whoosh! The moment he succeeded, Lin Chen decisively ignored the white-clothed man and rushed toward the Jade Scroll. He used Dragon Flash at full speed and flapped his holy phoenix wings. Whoosh! Whoosh! Bang! The white-clothed man and the 5 geniuses of Sun Moon Hall lit up with the light of the sun and moon, and they angrily broke through the delaying rune. The delaying rune, which was enough to trap the barbarian realm geniuses for 2 breaths, couldn't even hold them back for 1/5 of a breath. The 5 geniuses of Sun Moon Hall were ready to attack the moment they broke through the delaying rune. Universe Sun Moon Break. The crescent-shaped saber aura was hundreds of meters long. It was as if it could split the sun and moon in half. Sun Flame Flying Hand. The flying sun flames split the sky, and a huge claw of battle aura slashed down. Furious Slash, Flying Dragon Moon. The 100-meter-long sword aura slashed down on Lin Chen's clones. 10,000 Flame, True Sun Palm. They unleashed the most powerful moonlight saber beams, sword auras, and the scorching hot sky flipping palm that spanned over 10 acres. They collided with the doppelganger's blink shadow and many other half-orange ring combat skills. Rumble. Bang. 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 A tornado nearly 10,000 feet in size rose into the sky. The terrifying shockwave shook the eastern side of the plain, and many geniuses were shocked. The 5 doppelgangers activated Dragon Flash at full speed and transformed into 5 beams of light. The movement techniques of the 5 geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall were also at half-orange tier perfection. Furthermore, their cultivation bases were suppressed, so the doppelgangers had no chance to circle around and activate strong assault. When Lin Chen's palm was still several thousand feet away from the Jade Slip, the Jade Slip was flicked away by the white-robed young man's fingertip. A wisp of light shot out, and Lin Chen missed. Get over here. When Lin Chen was about to circulate his Dark Calamity Battle Chi to draw it over. Before Lin Chen could use the Dark Calamity Battle Chi to suck the Jade Slip over, the white-clothed young master's body exploded with 21 odd crystal fragments. Instead, he angrily clawed at the void, and the claw mark burst into flames. This claw was no small matter. Lin Chen didn't dare to rashly snatch the Jade Slip. No one has ever dared to steal from me. The Nangong Mia. The white-clothed young man's sneer accompanied the sun-splendored giant claw. Lin Chen stood still with his spear in hand. His entire body was overflowing with murderous aura. His tyrannical aura filled the air as he laughed maniacally. From today onwards, there will be Yu Qian, instant light, split shadow. Consumed 10 points of high-grade rune energy. Used level 6 recharge and level 6 penetration rune. Pure strength exploded as he raised the red spear horizontally. The tip of the spear pierced through the domineering golden rainbow light. The spear light split into 5 in the void and blasted into the ghost god Annihilation Claw. Chi. There was no explosion of silver hair, only the sun splendor giant claw that was corroded by the golden rainbow light into nothingness. Lin Chen and the Nangong Mia were hit by different hidden forces. Lin Chen's Imperial Heaven Gold aura was also burned and melted. Lin Chen's attributes were countered. Sun Splendor Gold aura countered Gold aura, so he suffered a hidden loss and took 10 steps back. The Nangong Mia was shocked by the 30% penetration power of the 5 instant light split shadow attacks. His blood was churning, and he was shocked. He was born with a grade 4 holy bloodline. When he was a baby, his aura was sealed by the Sun Moon Hall. He was then placed in the Sun Moon Celestial Stone to nourish his aura for 3 years. After that, He cultivated the Sun-Moon Holy Scripture, which was ranked second in the Sun-Moon Hall. He became an emperor at a young age, and his talent was unparalleled. In addition, the difference between a grade 3 holy bloodline and a grade 4 holy bloodline was like a huge chasm. The Nangong Mye could kill geniuses who were ranked below 10,000 on the genius ranking, like slaughtering pigs. He had even challenged geniuses who were ranked higher than him many times. However, this was the first time he was challenged by someone who was ranked higher than him. Furthermore, it was 2 levels higher than him. I can't even hold them back. Lin Shen wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth and looked around with a serious expression. He had even used the delaying rune, but he still couldn't hold back the geniuses from the Sun-Moon Hall. Each of the 8 geniuses from the Sun-Moon Hall was only slightly weaker than Orient Yao. This Nangong Mye was even crazier. If Lin Chun didn't use all his runes and his instant light split shadows talent, he wouldn't be able to fight him head-on. You must have something to rely on since you dare to challenge me in the Sun-Moon Hall. Do you think my junior brothers and I will let our guard down? You can't do anything to this young master with your little tricks. The Nangong Mye was so angry that he laughed. He raised his hand and attacked again. Rip! He pushed his palm horizontally, and it was as if the sun and moon were hanging upside down. A huge Tai Chi Xian diagram came crashing down. Lin Chen's expression changed slightly. The spiritual annihilation energy surged wildly between his eyebrows, and 5 beams of spiritual annihilation light beams shot out. Whoosh! Boom! The collision between the battle aura and the spiritual annihilation storm stirred up thousands of waves. It shook the plains until giant python-like cracks appeared. It was a ghastly sight. The remnant energy of the spiritual annihilation storm crashed into the light ball in the air. The jade scroll glowed and started to vibrate violently. Lin Shen was pushed back 1,000 meters. Blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth again. His flesh and blood kept spilling out his body. There was only one thought in Lin Chen's mind. Strong. Very King strong. This Nangong Mye was the strongest among all the geniuses on the genius ranking list that Lin Chen had ever met. Although he was ranked 10,088, 11 places lower than Orient Yao, his true strength was at least 10,003. He was the strongest among all the geniuses present. I still have 1550 points of rune energy left. Should I fight him head-on? Should I use up a lot of high-level rune energy for this alchemy handprint? Or should I use Sovereign's Descent? No one knows how many tricks he has up his sleeves. I might not be able to kill him even if I use up all my rune energy. Moreover, I have to save my rune energy and Sovereign's Descent to deal with the sages outside, or as a life-saving trump card in case of an accident. Even if I can't snatch the Jade Scroll away, I'll just have to use it. Damn it, Nangong Mye, you're forcing me to go all out. Lin Shen was overflowing with arrogance and domineering aura. It was as if he would rather die than live in dishonor. Nangong Mye was shaken by the 530% spiritual annihilation storms. The spiritual bridge in his mind shook violently, but he quickly recovered and adjusted himself. It was as if he had some kind of spiritual treasure protecting his spiritual power. Whoosh! At this moment, a faint golden light burst out from the light ball floating in the air. This glowing jade slip was struck by the shockwaves of Lin Chen's annihilation mental attack, and a portion of the seal actually cracked open. The light within the glowing jade slip condensed into several faint orange-colored words. At this moment, the 50 geniuses fighting with the Sun-Moon Hall, the Heart-Refining Palace, the 100 Saints Gate, Lin Shen, and Nangong Mye were all attracted by the light ball jade scroll. The bright words appeared. Half-orange alchemy handprint. Flying soul, suppressing seal. Gasp! The sound of people sucking in cold air echoed in the hall. Half-orange alchemy handprint. The value of this far exceeded any half-orange technique or mental cultivation technique. Even the sages would fight for the top alchemy handprint. Snatch it! I have to snatch it! Nangong Mye's eyes turned red. He stomped his feet and turned into a stream of light. The brilliance of ultimate origin restoration flowed all over his body. Lin Chen's shoulders shook, and his aura was monstrous. F*CKU. It's just a half-orange alchemy handprint. Have a taste of my 9 tribulation star. The 9-colored starlight spun like a spinning wheel and condensed in the center of Lin Chen's palm. It was as if thousands of years of starlight had condensed in the center of his palm. Lin Chen's entire person became the most dazzling star present. Everyone was dumbfounded. A 3-tribulation combat emperor could condense such a terrifying energy. Lin Chen swung his palm, and the 9-colored starlight shot out horizontally. Buzz! The 9-colored starlight trembled and turned into 5. The 5 9-colored starlight were like the stars in the sky. The geniuses were so surprised that their scalps went numb. How could such an insane amount of energy be condensed 4 more times? However, what happened next was even more ridiculous. Lin Chen's strongest attack wasn't even aimed at Nangong Ye. Instead, it was aimed at the half-orange tear pill refinement handprint. At this moment, everyone had the same thought. He's crazy. He must be crazy. Chapter 10:18. His hair stood on end. In an instant, the Nangong Ye felt goosebumps all over his body. A faintly discernible aura of death enveloped him. His instincts told him that if he got any closer to the alchemy handprint, he might die. Sun and Moon Shield, protect me. Almost at the same time, the moment Nangong Ye gave the order, the 5 9-colored stars were suddenly detonated by the retreating Lin Chen when they were 10,000 feet away from him. Bang! Boom! With a thunderous sound, 5 9-colored light pillars bloomed and rotated slowly between the heavens and the earth. What was even more terrifying was that when the 5 light pillars bloomed, they merged into a huge 9-colored light pillar that reached the heavens and the earth. Within the 9-colored light pillar, the destructive energy ripples that spread out had already surpassed the concept of the War Emperor. Many geniuses stopped fighting and stared at the 9-colored light pillar and Lin Chen with eyes full of fear. Is this kid still human? He is only a 3 calamity combat emperor. What kind of a 3 calamity combat emperor is this? He is a monster. How could a 3 calamity combat emperor perform such a terrifying attack? And it seems that he didn't use any external force. They had never seen such a ridiculous 3 calamity combat emperor. It was as difficult as ascending to the heavens to challenge a super genius on the genius list. Only Shunling Shuang, who had cultivated her physique and had yet to awaken her martial god bloodline and the foundation of the Divine Flame Palace, was able to challenge a super genius. How could Lin Chen jump 2 levels? Moreover, he unleashed a destructive attack that could threaten the life of a super genius. It was only a matter of time before such a person would enter the genius list once he became a saint. What was even more terrifying was that this kid's attack seemed to be aimed at the half-orange grade alchemy handprint. If that was the case, all their efforts would have been in vain. While everyone was shocked, Lin Chen was not idle at all. System, activate the automatic strengthening function for me. Strengthen the mental cultivation method Imperial Dragon Flash Mirror Moon. Consumed 17,498 strengthening points. Failed to strengthen Imperial. Consumed 13,445 strengthening points. Failed to strengthen Mirror Moon. Consumed 13550 strengthening points. Failed to upgrade Sword Fury Sky Hovering Sword. Consumed 23,455 enhancement points. Failed to upgrade the 9 tribulations of Genesis. Lin Chen's 485 million points were quickly disappearing. Lin Chen didn't have the time to pay attention to it. He could only leave it to the system to automatically strengthen it. His purple-gold eyes flashed as he frowned and said, "So he's still alive." In a 9-colored light beam, the 2 holy light shields were 1 sun and 1 sun. The oval light shield rotated around Nangong Ye, but he was unharmed. Nangong Ye's face was still filled with fear. If he had used his holy shield a second later, he would have been sucked into the beam of light. Even if he did not die, he would have been crippled. This brat is really strange. If it weren't for the fact that Master used his holy power to seal the sacred shield on my body and used it 3 times at the critical moment, I would have fallen into his trap just now. Oh no, it's the alchemy hand seal. Only then did the Nangong Mia come back to his senses. When he looked back, there was no light ball jade scroll. It had exploded into ashes. Only a few jade slips were left floating in the void. All the geniuses were dumbfounded. It exploded just like that? That was a priceless treasure. A half-orange level alchemy hand seal was a treasure that even saints would go crazy over. This Lin Shun was a F***king lunatic. How could he bear to do such a thing? Everyone had been fighting for it for so long, but it was all for nothing. Who could be crazier than the Black Horse Club? This Prince Lin Shun is really going all out. Even if I, Jiang Yun, couldn't get the half-orange level alchemy hand seal, I wouldn't be able to destroy it as decisively as he did. He's really a ruthless person. Although Jiang Yun felt a little heartache, she was more impressed. Even if he couldn't get it, he wouldn't give it to his opponent. In the face of such a huge treasure, he was able to make the calmest decision. This kind of person was usually the scariest. Even a rabbit would bite when it was anxious. The deputy director of the Black Horse Club was anxious and exploded a half-orange level alchemy hand seal. Was it reasonable? However, Lin Dong's eyes widened. He suddenly used Dragon Flash and collected all the jade slip fragments and attribute light balls that had fallen after the pill refinement handprint exploded. Host has received 40 advanced spiritual power, 70 advanced spiritual power, 70 advanced water type energy, 80 advanced rune energy, 599 advanced technique essence, and 90 intermediate talent points. When a large amount of spiritual power and elemental attribute points entered his body, Lin Shen's strength increased by another level. Deputy Director Lin was shocked. The attribute light balls, after the alchemy hand seal exploded, were many times more than what he had seen before. The quality was so high that it made his scalp tingle. Ha! Awesome, this is awesome. Damn it, I really want to do it again. Great Superintendent Lin happily held the fragments of the alchemy handprints in his hands, laughing wildly to the heavens. When all the geniuses heard his laughter, they all looked as if they had seen a ghost. Their scalps tingled. The Nangong Mia was so angry that he almost shit his pants. What the F***ck are you so happy about? You want to do it again? You have already destroyed a half-orange level alchemy hand seal, and you want to destroy it again? Lin Shun, go to hell. The Nangong Mia was furious. Thousands of 9-colored starlights appeared in Lin Shen's palm and formed a spinning wheel. The Nangong Mia was stunned. Lin Shen raised his eyebrows playfully and said with a smirk, "Do you want to do it again? I can last for a long time. If you're not satisfied, I can shoot you again. How about that?" The Nangong Mia's expression did not change, but he was a little scared in his heart. To be honest, he was not afraid of Lin Shen's combat power and many of his tricks. He could even suppress him and trample on him directly. However, the stars formed from a 9-colored starlight were the only ones that were extremely powerful. Even if he attacked the 9-colored starlight balls with all his strength, it would be difficult for him to escape unscathed no matter how hard he tried to defend himself. He could barely deal with 9 tribulation star, but with 5 of them, his only choice was to use the Holy Shield. However, this was his life-saving trump card. After using it, there would be no guarantee for Rainbow Island. But what if Lin Shen was just bluffing? Wouldn't he be letting him go for nothing? It was impossible to use such a consummate skill without paying a price. Indeed, with Lin Shen's current cultivation, he could use the 9 tribulations star twice in a short time, but he would have to pay the price of serious injuries and a drop in his cultivation level. Just as the two sides were in a stalemate, Lin Shen's body emitted a powerful aura without warning. Boom! A kind of enlightenment transformation made Lin Shen feel like he was bathing in the rain. He broke through the shackles and ascended to the sky. It was a kind of ultimate transformation. The energy fluctuation of Lin Shen's 9 tribulations origin source had almost doubled at this moment. The strength of his doppelgangers also skyrocketed. Even Lin Shen himself was shocked. This is... Congratulations, host. You have consumed 23,455 enhancement points. Automatic upgrade successful. Plus 15 9 tribulations of creation. Power increase, 90%. Overall power increase, 410%. You have reached the upper limit. You cannot continue to upgrade your cultivation method. This automatic upgrade has consumed 6 million enhancement points. Host, do you want to continue upgrading other cultivation methods? Lin Chen's mouth was wide open. The surprise came too suddenly. Chapter 1019. Many geniuses were ready to fight. It could be said that when the atmosphere was tense to the extreme, Lin Chen's mental cultivation method had actually been strengthened successfully. Ha ha ha. Awesome, this is awesome. Come on. Nangong Mia, do you still want to fight? Lin Ming used his 9 tribulations battle chi to form a 9-colored basketball and dribbled the ball between his legs right in front of Nangong Mia. This guy is so despicable. How did he survive until now without being beaten to death? After his mental cultivation method was upgraded to plus 15, Lin Chen clearly felt that his 9 tribulations origin had doubled. Even if he used the 9 tribulation star again, his cultivation would not regress. Since that was the case, why not threaten him? Mr. Lin smiled slyly and said, "Aren't you very cocky? Come on, let's see if you can protect yourself. I wonder if you can protect the entire Sun Moon Hall." Lin Chen's words woke everyone up. Yes, the Nangong Mia might not be able to protect the people of Sun Moon Hall. If he used the same move again, how many of the geniuses of Sun Moon Hall would die? After saying that, Mr. Lin glanced at the geniuses of Sun Moon Hall. They were angry, but they did not dare to say anything. The power of this guy's mental cultivation method has increased by a lot. I think his killer move is related to his mental cultivation method. Otherwise, he wouldn't be so arrogant. Damn it, do we have to gamble with the trump card that Master left for us? While the Nangong Mia was hesitating, the girl from the heart-refining palace pulled Lin Chen and retreated. Boom! When Sun Yu released the blood-red poisonous cloud that was hundreds of feet long, all the geniuses' faces changed slightly. It turned out that Jiang Yin had been letting Sun Yu prepare this killer move. Not good, retreat. This poison is not trivial. The Nangong Mia waved his hand, and the geniuses of the 100 Saints Gate and Sun Moon Hall retreated. Lin Chen and the rest used this as cover to retreat to the other side. Trying to escape? Orient Yao's murderous aura sword, and he wanted to chase after them. The Nangong Mia waved his hand and said, "Don't worry. Our target is not just him. After we accomplish our goal, we will work together to deal with him. Otherwise, before we do it again, we have to accumulate strength." The Nangong Mia sent a secret message to Orient Yao. "As long as you listen to my orders, Ning Qing Xian, you will definitely belong to her. You know that the foundation of Sun Moon Hall is not so simple." Orient Yao was startled, and he looked at him deeply. "Then I will trust you this time." "Lin Chen, you are the first person who made me, the Nangong Mia, fail. Next time you will die, as long as I find that place." With a trace of ruthlessness, the Nangong Mia led the geniuses to another place in the east. The group of over 50 geniuses gritted their teeth in anger, but when they looked at the blood-red poison cloud and recalled the 9-colored light pillar, they could not help but tremble. "So I forget it. Let's not fight to the death with them. We have fought with Sun Moon Hall for so long, and although we did not gain anything, at least Sun Moon Hall did not get that alchemy handprint. This is a fight that no one can win. Let's go." The leader of the geniuses comforted everyone, and the group of over 50 geniuses retreated to the other side. Lin Chen and the rest retreated to the edge of the blood plains. After the successive battles in the system, 99% of the treasures dropped by the Rainbow Bridge had been taken. There was almost nothing left. The Beast Tide had either died or retreated, and the geniuses had also suffered quite a few casualties. Most of them were injured. Excluding the geniuses killed by the Black Horse Club, only 2 geniuses had truly fallen, and one of them was a genius ranked in the top 30,000. The heavily injured Dragon Emperor collected all the remaining attribute light balls. Against a first-rate genius, just stalling for time almost cost him his life. After all, none of the geniuses ranked in the 10,300 were pushovers. Even if the Dragon Emperor had 3 bloodlines in one body, it would still be very difficult to defeat such an opponent. His limit was at the level of the top 20,000 geniuses. The Dragon Emperor collected a large amount of high-grade blood chi attribute light balls and returned to the Peach Garden plant pouch. Inside the plant pouch, the Dragon Emperor activated the 10,000 mammoths, devouring divine ability, and began to refine a large amount of peak 7th grade healing medicinal pills. After devouring 10 Longqing fruits and a large section of crimson gold vine, he closed his eyes and cultivated. Next to the Dragon Emperor was Little Shadow, who was cultivating in seclusion. It floated in a black cloud, surrounded by purple lightning. Lin Shen had told it that it could use 1/10 of the silver saint origin coins produced by the 3 spiritual plants of providence for cultivation. Sigh. A certain Lin sighed deeply. Jiang Yun thought he was sighing because he destroyed the half-orange grade alchemy handprint and couldn't help but comfort him. Prince Lin Shen, you and the Black Horse Club are already very strong. At least we didn't let those people from Sun Moon Hall get the half-orange grade alchemy handprint. In a way, we've already won. Indeed, the geniuses from Sun Moon Hall were all as strong as monsters. If it weren't for those 50 geniuses holding back the other 22 people, the battle would have been even more dangerous. I'm not sighing because of that. I'm blaming myself for being too weak. If I was a little stronger, I might have been able to force them into a corner and wipe them out in one fell swoop. Lin Shen's words were so shocking that even Jiang Yun felt her heart skip a beat. Wipe them out in one fell swoop. Did you want to wipe out the Nangong Mia in one fell swoop? That was a super genius from a top rank 5 sect. She didn't even dare to think about wiping out such a person. This young master Lin Shen is truly skilled and daring. Jiang Yun smiled bitterly in her heart and then said seriously, Prince Lin Shen, do you have any plans after this? According to past signs, the next Bifrost will only appear in at least 4 days. For days, Lin Shen pondered and said doubtfully, I don't have any plans. Why? Do you have a good place to go? I'm not familiar with Rainbow Island. Jiang Yun was delighted. Then, will Prince Lin Shen come with us? Our former palace master had a connection with Rainbow Island and needs to find a cave in the deep sea. If we can find the owner of the cave, we'll be able to get a lot of help. However, on the way to the cave, we'll have to pass through some extremely dangerous areas. While Jiang Yun and Lin Shen were talking, Sun Yuer walked lightly to the side of the Jundak Shuai and asked shyly, I'm Sun Yuer. Young Master Zhen, are you hurt? Grandma left me some good healing pills. If you don't mind. Sun Yuer was so nervous that her jade-like hands were trembling. Her cheeks were flushed and her eyebrows were curved. While taking out the pills, she secretly glanced at the Jundak Shuai. This scene made many girls from the heart-refining palace giggle. They were charming and couldn't help but throw flirtatious glances at the doppelgangers. It's okay, I don't need it. The people of the Black Horse Club recover very quickly. The Jundak Shuai smiled politely. Sun Yuer was curious. Why? Jundak Shuai. Because we're not human. Sun Yuer. Chapter 10:20. Because we're not human. Then Jundak Shuai added, we're the most handsome people in the sacred boundary. Sun Yuer giggled, and the nervousness in her heart disappeared silently. Young master, do you think I'm scary? I know how to use those poisons that make countless people tremble in fear. Grandma said that this is my innate talent and aptitude, but I don't like poisons. Sun Yuer lowered her eyes, feeling dejected. It's a good thing to have talent and aptitude, but the decision is your own business. I won't comfort or encourage you. In my opinion, only the strong have the right to speak in this world. Sometimes, the things you hate will become the capital you need to protect the people and things you cherish the most. So, try your best to choose the path you won't regret. Jean de Shuai shrugged his shoulders, the corners of his mouth raised into a smile that was very pleasing to the eye. The path you won't regret. Sun Yuer seemed to have an epiphany, and her eyes brightened. She bowed to Lin Chen seriously and said, "Thank you for your guidance, young master. You are very grateful, as expected of the person who saved the seventh princess. How I hope that one day you will also save." The last sentence reverberated in the young girl's heart. Then it's decided. Let's go to the great white shark deep sea. At this time, Lin Shun made the decision, and once again set off with the people of the heart-refining palace. 12 hours later, on Rainbow Island, Lin Shun and the others were floating in the air above a deep blue ocean. The great white shark deep sea was rumored to be one of the most dangerous places on Rainbow Island. It was said that an eighth-order sacred beast once became the master of the ocean here, the abyssal holy shark. According to the words of the previous generation's genius, there was more than one eighth-order sacred beast hidden in this sea. Lin Chun and the others dived into the ocean. Jiang Yun made a hand seal, and a faint brilliance appeared between her eyebrows. She could clearly see tens of thousands of meters under the sea. Everyone, be careful. No matter what happens, don't act casually. Avoid fighting, and don't alarm the master of the ocean here. Lin Shun ordered his clones to spread out and quickly dived into the depths of the sea. This action puzzled Jiang Yun. He smiled. All the handsome guys in our club have a unique skill that can hide from the senses of saints or holy beasts. They can sense danger for us in advance. The doppelgangers were covered with a layer of dark calamity battle chi. Using the innate Dark Shadow Sutra, they concealed their auras and flew to within 100 miles of the nearby sea area. Lin Shun was able to focus his consciousness on his clone with a single thought. Whatever his clone saw, he could see as well. But wouldn't that be too dangerous? Sun Yue seemed to be worried and asked Lin Shun worriedly. "Don't worry." Lin Shun gave her a calm smile. Whoosh! All of a sudden, a school of dazzling, five-colored fish that were nearly 3,000 meters long swept over at high speed like a hurricane, alarming many women in the heart-refining palace and putting them on guard. "Don't panic. These are just light-colored stone orchid fish. They don't plan to attack us." Lin Shun transmitted his voice to everyone and then said, "South of here, there are two peak 7th rank white dragon sword sharks fighting each other 80 miles away. Let's go around them. 121 miles away, 20,000 meters under the sea, there are 10 ice fiend mantis shrimp. Remember to slow down. 177 miles away, there are two peak 7th rank rotten poison octopuses in a deep sea cave." Lin Shun could always accurately report the location of a large number of deep-sea beasts every time he moved stealthily. The women were dumbfounded. He had scouted so far away. Flying in the sea, many methods would be restricted, including movement and attack. The water pressure caused by the water filled with water-type spirit chi was extremely strong. The deeper they went, the more restricted they would be. If they dived into the sea, they would be crushed by the water pressure if they didn't have the cultivation of a 9th-stage combat emperor. The same went for the range of perception. Even 5th tribulation geniuses who released their battle chi could only sense a range of 10 to 25 miles in the sea area. If they encountered an emergency, they wouldn't have a chance to escape. The deep sea was like a bottomless abyss. It was filled with a deathly stillness and eeriness. This was an atmosphere created by a strong aura of death and slaughter. At every moment, there was a massacre taking place in the sea. However, they would appear silently, kill, win, devour, and then quietly leave. However, Lin Chen didn't get tired of it. When his doppelgangers were exploring this sea area, they were constantly collecting more attribute light balls. At the same time, there were also many unique treasures in the deep sea. His doppelgangers moved stealthily at the front line. 90% of the treasures would fall into Lin Chen's hands. They were all top-notch saint items and medicinal herbs for refining pills. This time, the heart-refining palace was looking for a saint beast. This saint beast had a relationship with the heart-refining palace. It even had a crush on the heart-refining palace's modern palace master. More importantly, both of them were women. If their descendants held the keepsake from back then, they would be able to obtain a lot of help from the saint beast. However, This history wasn't known to the current palace master of the heart-refining palace until 200,000 years after the previous palace masters passed away. That was why this operation was carried out. If they could obtain the help of an 8th Order Saint Beast, Rainbow Island would definitely be blessed by the gods. Jiang Yin stroked her hair and stared at Lin Chen's side profile. She increasingly felt that cooperating with Lin Shun on this trip was the right choice. Thanks to Lin Chen's leadership, the distance that would have taken them 3 days to cover now took less than a day. Wait a minute. Lin Chen suddenly raised his hand, and everyone stopped. Shun Ling Shuang grabbed 2 exquisite and translucent shells that were as beautiful as gemstones and covered her pretty little face. She said excitedly, "What's wrong, Master? Did you find something fun?" "It's not just fun, it's simply thrilling." Lin Shun flicked the girl's forehead. Lin Shun turned to Jiang Yun and said, "I found the cave abode you were talking about. However, I also found a location of the Empyrean Holy Shark. If we approach the cave abode, we might have to enter the Holy Shark's territory. There's a risk of being discovered." Everyone was shocked. The cave abode was near the Holy Shark's territory. Lin Shun fell in a deep thought. If they were in the outside world, he could try to attract the Saint Beast's attention with his current strength. He could then use his super-dimensional teleportation to escape. However, in the deep sea, he was greatly restricted by the water pressure. Furthermore, this was the Holy Shark's territory. In terms of speed, he would be completely crushed in the sea. Right, this is the deep sea. Why would I be hindered? I have the heavenly imperial winged dragon bloodline. Lin Chen clapped his hands and cheered. The heavenly imperial winged dragon bloodline was the king of the water. There were few opponents. The Dragon Emperor wasn't a Saint Beast, but he still had a chance to stall for time. Moreover, Lin Shun could also use the power of his bloodline. One man and one dragon could perfectly use the heavenly imperial ocean divine ability. "I have an idea. Wait for me," Lin Shun said to the girls and started to gather all of his clones. The group carefully swam to the reefs at the bottom of the sea and hid among a group of corals. All of the clones and the consciousness of the main body entered the peach blossom pouch. Lin Shun took out 20 bottles of ancient beast blood. The jade bottles were filled to the brim with red or green blood. They emitted a domineering aura, as if there were ancient beasts sealed inside the jade bottles. It was extremely terrifying. Ordinary battle emperors who obtained this kind of blood would be severely injured by the baleful aura in the blood essence. It was extremely terrifying. Chapter 1021. Lin Shun had no doubt that if there was enough of this blood, it could allow a combat emperor at the peak of the body refinement realm to break through to the saint realm. What a pity. I originally wanted to save it for myself to break through to the body refinement realm, but now I have to let the Dragon Emperor refine it first. The mission of attracting the Holy Shark's attention still depends on the Dragon Emperor's performance. After absorbing the attribute light balls dropped from the blood planes, Lin Chen's advanced blood chi had exceeded 7 million points, and his pure strength was at the threshold of 99 million. However, there were only 2 ways to increase the power of the heavenly imperial ocean god power. One was to increase the bloodline attribute value, and the other was to increase the user's strength. If Lin Chen broke through 80 million dragon power points, his power would be on par with the Dragon Emperor, so he had to prioritize increasing the Dragon Emperor's strength. "It's all up to my precious Dragon Emperor now." Lin Chen sighed and unsealed all the jade bottles. With a boom, the peach blossom plant pouch surged with a violent aura. Low roars of anger traveled through that distant era and echoed from Lin Chen's peach blossom plant pouch. Myriad devouring god power, refine all of them. Activating the god power, the Dragon Emperor swallowed all the blood of the primordial golden chariots, barbarian dragons, pure-blooded swani, and other primordial beasts. Boom! The heavy blood chi transformed into a blood dragon and erupted in the Dragon Emperor's body like thousands of volcanoes. Swallowing 20 bottles of blood chi in one go was something that even the top barbaric domain geniuses could not do. Faint traces of blood seeped out of the Dragon Emperor's body, showing signs of being full. Lin Shen's clones surrounded the Dragon Emperor and used their bloodline power to connect with the Dragon Emperor, creating a bridge-like channel to help the Dragon Emperor refine the blood chi energy that was as violent as the sun. Blood dragons formed from violent lifeblood energies were pushed into the dragon meridians, where they were rapidly refined and absorbed. The Dragon Monarch's dragon meridians were opened at an unprecedented speed. 25 million, 26 million. A dragon's vein was 10 dragon power, and the further it went, the more destructive the dragon's vein would be. The doppelgangers and the main body were one. With the assistance of the 5 doppelgangers, the Dragon Emperor's myriad devouring divine ability was more than 10 times faster. Originally, it would take about a month. At this rate, it will only take about 2 days. Just as Lin Shen was about to cultivate, a flash of inspiration appeared. That's right. Why did I try to use the strengthen function to strengthen the Rain Dragon bloodline attribute? If even the purple gold eyes bloodline can be strengthened, there's no reason it can't. Lin Shen asked the system, what about my other bloodline attributes? The system replies to the host, yes. Lin Shen, then what about runes and talent? Can it also be enhanced with the enhance function? The system replies to the host, temporarily not supported. The current version's strengthening function cannot be used on the rune function. Talent cannot be strengthened without talent points. Lin Shen, it's a loss. We've lost at least 100 million. If I can strengthen runes, then I can strengthen a charge rune. That feeling, Lin Shen opened the bloodline status window. Bloodline status window. Purple gold eyes bloodline 10,000 points plus 13. Rain Dragon bloodline 3. 29 million points. Azure Dragon bloodline 318 points. Sacred Flame Phoenix bloodline 47. 5 million points. Consumed 90 enhancement points. Rain Dragon bloodline plus 1 success. Consumed 87 enhancement points. Azure Dragon bloodline plus 1 success. Insufficient enhancement points, converting 1 million blank attribute points into enhancement points. Obtained 1 million enhancement points. Consumed 2810 enhancement points. Rain Dragon bloodline plus 14 success. Consumed 2780 enhancement points. Azure Dragon bloodline plus 14 success. Lin Shen strengthened both bloodlines to plus 14 in one go. As 4 plus 15, the chances were too low. Only 270,000 enhancement points remained from the 1 million. The Dragon Emperor's hidden dragon body actually transformed into thick dark green dragon scales, revealing a domineering and indestructible aura. Blue crystal-like crystals grew out from the tail, covering the entire dragon tail. It was especially sharp, the dragon claws protruded, and the dragon teeth became even sharper. According to the increase brought by the strengthening function, the plus 14 bloodline had increased by 320% compared to the original base. It had increased by more than 3 times. Let's try strengthening the Sacred Flame Phoenix bloodline attribute. Lin Shen continued to strengthen. Consumed 655 enhancement points. Sacred Flame Phoenix bloodline plus 1 success. Increase 10%. Lin Shen's mouth twitched. Strengthening by 1 level required a few hundred enhancement points. If it was strengthened to plus 10, wouldn't it exceed 10,000? Lin Shen strengthened continuously, and only after spending 270,000 enhancement points did he manage to strengthen the Sacred Flame Phoenix bloodline to plus 10 level. Sacred Flame Phoenix bloodline attribute, overall increase, 110%. If Lin Shen and the Dragon Emperor used the Sacred Flame Phoenix wings again, their speed would definitely increase. So strong. Although the Ultimate Moment talent could not increase the power of the Dragon Emperor's ability, the strengthening function did it. All of the Dragon Emperor's abilities had a qualitative change. Lin Shen was pleasantly surprised. Lin Shen did not waste a single second. After strengthening the bloodline, he immediately refined a large amount of silver sacred origin coins. After experiencing a series of battles and the Heavenless Conference, Lin Shun increasingly felt that he was not far from the fourth tribulation. The opportunity to break through was just around the corner. 2 days later, the Dragon Emperor absorbed all of the primordial treasure blood faster than Lin Shun expected. His pure strength had reached 99 million dragon power. 99 million dragon veins had been opened, and he was only 3 dragon veins away from breaking through 10 million dragon veins, transforming into a sacred dragon and reaching the heavens in a single step. With 5 doppelgangers and 1 dragon emperor, I should be able to buy enough time. Lin Shin's thoughts flashed, and he brought all of his doppelgangers out of the peach blossom pouch. 10,000 feet deep in the sea, a 5-colored crystal jade palace shone brilliantly, exuding a terrifying aura. Hundreds of peak rank 7 vicious beasts in human form were guarding this place. All the vicious beasts that passed by kept quiet out of fear and secretly swam past this area. This palace was the Empyrean Holy Shark's territory. Inside the palace, water-type spirit Chi gathered like a whirlpool and was absorbed by a gigantic creature. Its shark body was thousands of feet long, and blue-gold patterns intertwined on the surface of its body. Its teeth were like sharp blades, its spine was straight, and its wings were like knives. Its aura was like a peerless overlord that suppressed the ocean. Every time it swallowed, it would create a terrifying airflow. The Empyrean Holy Shark. Vicious beasts had a natural advantage. When they revealed their true form in the deep sea, they could automatically absorb water-type spirit Chi without any special control. The Empyrean Holy Shark had been sleeping for 1,000 years, which was equivalent to cultivating for 1,000 years. Boom! Suddenly, the water rippled, and the Holy Shark opened its blue eyes, which flashed with a hint of human contempt. A few ants actually dared to barge into my territory, and there's even dragon? Interesting. Seems like a good dragon body. It could be used as an appetizer. The Holy Shark twisted its gigantic body and rushed out of the palace like a sword stream. All of you, listen to my orders. There are humans more than 250 miles away in all 4 directions. Take them all down. The Holy Shark roared, and all of its subordinates moved out, shooting out beams of light into the sea. Leave this dragon for me to enjoy. You have to pay the price for disturbing my slumber. The Empyrean Holy Shark sneered and rushed out, creating a whirlpool with endless currents. The entire sea shook because of it, and its speed was terrifying. Chapter 10:22. That big guy's moving. Let's go. Hurry up. Lin Shun, who was hiding under a rock, ordered. All the girls took the water-repelling pill that he had prepared beforehand. A layer of water appeared on the surface of their bodies, as if they had become one with the ocean. Everyone turned into a stream of light and rushed toward the towering stone wall outside, the Holy Shark Palace. On the other side, the ocean current was surging. Sky Imperial Ocean. Lin Shin's clone, Jundak Shuai, used the Sky Imperial Ocean together with the Dragon Emperor. His aura skyrocketed as he quickly dove into the ocean current. With a +14 bloodline attribute and 99 million dragon power points, the Dragon Emperor was like a tiger that had grown wings as he dove into the ocean. His speed was faster than any sea beast below rank 8. But it was still not enough. So fast. It's faster than I expected by more than half. Jundak Shuai was shocked as he activated his purple gold eyes. That murderous aura was following closely behind him like a hurricane. It was getting closer and closer. It had just left the palace, and it was already closing in on them. A rank 8 sacred beast is indeed powerful. This is his main territory. I have no choice but to use my sacred phoenix wings. Whoosh! Dragon Emperor displayed his purple-red sacred phoenix wings, and his speed skyrocketed. Under the control of the Sky Imperial Ocean, the high-pressure seawater did not form any resistance. Instead, it was converted into energy to increase his speed. Hmm? There's a hint of the sacred phoenix bloodline. No, that's a dragon? Could it be the extremely rare dragon phoenix body? The Empyrean holy shark's eyes shone even brighter. Its murderous aura flowed through its body, and its speed increased again. Wherever the Empyrean holy shark passed, the ocean trembled. All the sea beasts retreated in fear. It was especially interested in this dragon who had a dragon and a phoenix in one body. It used the speed of a true overlord of the sea. After a few dozen breaths, it had already crossed more than 1,000 miles of ocean. The two sides were very close, and it could already see that the dragon phoenix was carrying a human, as expected of a rank 8 sacred beast. So fast, Jendok Shuai's heart sank. He immediately activated Ultimate Moment, and his pure strength and spiritual power surged. Jendok Shuai's hand seals changed rapidly. He let out a deep roar, and a blue spiritual light beam burst out from between his eyebrows. Annihilation, split shadow. The spiritual light beam split into 5, and its power skyrocketed. It slammed into the Empyrean abyss holy shark head-on. This was the full-powered attack of the clone. The 5 spiritual light pillars slammed into the Empyrean holy shark's enormous body. A blue fiendish aura swept out and shattered countless spiritual ripples. All it did was slow the Empyrean holy shark down a little. It didn't cause any substantial damage to it. The weakness of most ferocious beasts was their weak mental strength. However, no matter how weak they were still holy beasts. Clones were unable to shake their massive bodies at all. Kaka, your spiritual energy is too weak. Human, you and your dragon phoenix dare to intrude into my territory. Surrender now, and I will let you die a quick death. Otherwise, I will eat your head last. The Empyrean holy shark laughed menacingly and roared. Waves surged out from the surface of the sea. Water surged from the bottom of the sea as if a disaster was approaching. It opened its bloody mouth, revealing countless sharp teeth. It lunged toward Lin Shun and the Dragon Emperor like a bloody abyss. It could swallow both of them in one bite. Even half-step Saint Stage spiritual energy can stall it for a while. Forget it. My main body has arrived at the cave, and I have lured it far enough away. It's time to retreat. Jendok Shuai stared at the Empyrean holy shark and activated Stealing Omen. Consumed 4 intermediate talent points. Stolen attribute points. 22,000 high-grade health points. Boom. Lin Shin's body refining power had reached 99 million dragon power points. The next moment, the human and the dragon broke through the spatial light. Whoosh! The Dragon Emperor and his clone were taken away by the spatial light. The Empyrean holy shark missed its target. Spatial travel? The Empyrean holy shark was shocked and furious. Damned humans! Is he toying with me? What is his goal? The sea trembled and roared with its low growl. The towering and vast stone wall was like a world of its own. It was like a glossy jade bed lying on the seabed. When everyone arrived at the stone wall, Lin Shun could clearly feel that his clone was surrounded by many pinnacle rank 7 sea monsters. Whoosh! The Dragon Emperor and Jendok Shuai teleported back to Lin Shun. This is the place. Jiang Yin found a stone door. Inside this stone door was an illusory and blurry energy enchantment. Jiang Yin opened the glass bracelet in her hand and sent a message with her battle aura into the wall. Senior Dreamy Chi Conk, an old friend from the Heart Refining Palace, is here. Is Senior still around? There was no response from the stone wall. Jiang Yin tried again, but there was still no response. Everyone was confused. They were all elites among the 5 tribulation cultivators. They could vaguely sense a powerful aura hidden in the stone wall. It should be the rank 8 divine beast, Wu Yi. The aura of the two of you is similar to that of the previous master. At this moment, a clear and melodious voice that was blurred and illusory reverberated on the stone wall, and it actually didn't answer Jiang Yin, but spoke to Lin Shun and Shun Ling Shuang instead. Senior Dreamy Chi Conk? Jiang Yin was surprised and Lin Shun and Shunling Shuang were confused. Mental cultivation method. The mental cultivation method that you are cultivating is somewhat similar to the incomplete mental cultivation method that Master comprehended. It's a pity that you should go back. The illusion Qi Kong Senior you are looking for is no longer here. I'm not her. The clear voice sounded again, and Jiang Yun's expression changed slightly. The dreamy Qi Kong was no longer here? What the hell is going on? Could it be that it was all for naught? While Shunling Shuang was still confused, Lin Chen's expression changed drastically, and his eyes lit up. Incomplete mental cultivation method? The incomplete mental cultivation method she mentioned was similar to the 9 tribulations of creation. Miss, please speak clearly. Who is your previous master? What is the name of his mental cultivation method? Lin Chen asked hurriedly. The voice did not answer. Boom! At this time, a murderous aura swept through the sea, and a furious roar echoed in the sea. So many human ants have barged in. Die, all of you must die. Lin Chen narrowed his eyes. The 1,000 illusion mask has returned to the system space, and all my clones have fallen. This big guy has discovered us. As expected of a level 8 sacred beast, it is not that easy to fool. A level 8 sacred beast was so powerful that everyone was not enough to fill the gaps between its teeth. Young Master Lin, let's go. It will be too late if we don't leave now. Since the dreamy Qi Kong is no longer here, there is no point for us to come here. The girl said hurriedly. Lin Shun was calm, and his eyes shone with a sharp light. Leave? It was not easy to find a secret that might be related to mental cultivation methods. He would not give up easily. Miss, quickly open the door. Let's have a good talk. I promise I won't go in. Why don't we talk about a deal? I am a level 8 alchemist. I only want the whereabouts of your previous master's mental cultivation methods. How about I use a level 8 embryonic pill to exchange with you? If one is not enough, too. F***CK. If you don't say anything, you will force me to sell my body. Lin Shun gritted his teeth and patted the peach blossom pouch at his waist. The Black Horse Club is full of handsome men. As long as you tell me the whereabouts of the mental cultivation methods, not only will I give you a level 8 embryonic pill, but I will also let all of them accompany you for a night. The girls were anxious. It would be too late if they did not leave now. Lin Chen would not give up easily. He still had a choice, which was to put the girls into the peach blossom pouch and use the super-dimensional teleportation talent to escape. The sacred beast would not be able to catch him then. However, he was not willing to leave just like that. Even if he used the super-dimensional teleportation to return here a second time, the Empyrean Holy Shark would be extremely vigilant. It would be extremely difficult or even impossible to get close to the stone door. Just as the Empyrean Holy Shark was 50 kilometers away from the cave, a loud sound came from the cave. Boom! The stone door opened. Lin Chun was stunned. F***CK. Being handsome can really be used as a bargaining chip. Everyone rushed in. Chapter 1023. What? The Empyrean Holy Shark's pupils trembled. It was shocked and angry, but it was stunned in the end. The next moment, ecstasy and savagery filled its eyes. Dead? Ha ha ha. It's an empty shell with a Class 8 dire beast core left. Behind a stone door, a faint purple mist floated inside. Everyone had entered a cave abode. There was a dazzling water curtain around the cave abode, preventing the seawater from entering. There's something wrong with the mist. Don't breathe. Suddenly, Jiang Yun and Lin Chun noticed the abnormality at the same time, but it was too late. All the girls had inhaled a little, but the most important thing was that the mist seemed to be able to penetrate their skin and enter their bodies directly. When the purple mist entered their bodies, an evil fire burned inside them, stimulating their most primal urges. Shunling Shuang and Ning Qingxian were fine. The former was suppressed by her bloodline, so her desire was not aroused, while the latter's cultivation technique suppressed the evil fire. However, the 13 female disciples of the heart-refining palace were having a hard time. Their cheeks were all red, and their eyes were covered with a layer of mist. this coquettish hung bow, that May Dai Chun Shan, that Zhu Dan nibbling, and that hibiscus face. All of them looked at Lin Chun at the same time, appearing extremely charming and charming. Even Lin Chun was a little restless. He bit the tip of his tongue and forced himself to calm down. F***ck, this can't be, right? The arsonist in my heart is going to be set on fire by someone else today? Lin Chun had been taking Long King Wo for a long time to nourish the sky-raising Dragon King spear, which contained the purest masculine aura. In addition, the girls of the heart-refining palace were more or less attracted to him. When they were invaded by the purple mist, it was like pushing a boat with the current, causing them to have a psychological and physical desire. Prince Lin Chun, as soon as I see you, Luo, the girls' eyes were misty, and their green eyes were filled with mist. They were talking and talking. Ning Qingxian quietly stood beside Lin Chun. Sun Yuer looked around, as if she was looking for something. A beautiful junior martial sister blushed and said to Jiang Yun, senior martial sister Jiang Yun, I seem to like Prince Lin Chun. Jiang Yun gritted her teeth. Do you call that liking him? You're just lusting after his body. You're despicable. This won't do. If this continues, everyone will fall. Ning Qingxian frowned. She turned to look at the Immortal's cave as the door slowly opened. A beautiful figure slowly walked out. Her blue dress fluttered like a butterfly. She was like an orchid in a secluded valley. Her appearance was quiet and elegant as she appeared in front of everyone. She flicked her sleeves, and a dozen streams of light shot into everyone's bodies. Their eyes gradually regained their clarity and rationality. Many women still blushed, feeling ashamed of their appearance just now. Everyone, this is the illusion Heavenly Conk's defensive technique. Please don't be offended. The woman bowed and nodded politely. Then, she invited Lin Chun and the others into the Immortal's cave. The Immortal's cave was dreamy and beautiful. Countless corals swayed like dancing fairies. The women in the heart-refining palace were overjoyed and gasped in amazement. Lin Chun, on the other hand, was looking around for attribute light balls. There were a total of 10 high-grade water-type attribute light balls here. Everyone sat down in the Immortal's cave. The blue-dressed woman was a little sad as she spoke to everyone. Everyone, to be honest, the illusion Heavenly Conk you're looking for should be my mother. However, she had already passed away in her cave. 100,000 years ago, she was lovesick and worried about her gains and losses. Her heart felt like it was being stabbed by a knife all year round. In the end, she only left me in the egg. She nurtured me with the ferocious beast core and used a conch shell to protect me, so that the Empyrean holy shark outside did not dare to barge in. Earlier, it wasn't that I didn't want to acknowledge the token of love Mother gave me, but if I opened the cave abode's restriction, the Empyrean abyss holy shark might see through the fact that Mother had passed away. If it knew that Mother was no longer in this world, the cave abode built by the shell of the beautiful conch could stop it for a while, but not forever. Hearing this, the women's expressions changed slightly. Then, Miss Chi Luo, why do you still want to open the cave? Jiang Yun asked anxiously. This was a situation that they had never expected. An 8th-order sacred beast with a lifespan of millions of years would actually die in a seated posture. The previous palace masters of the heart-refining palace seemed to have passed away in the secret realm of the palace after passing down their skills due to the torment of lovesickness. This made them sigh about what love was. A lovesickness that transcended gender and race ultimately led to the death of 2 saints. It's because of this gentleman. The blue-dressed woman's gaze fell on Lin Chun. Lin Chun was stunned. Then he said seriously, Miss, my Black Horse Club has everything that you like. The women of the heart-refining palace blushed. Sun Yuer, on the other hand, was inexplicably anxious. Shun Ling Shuang asked innocently, Master, is there anyone else like you? Your master, I, am the only one in the sacred boundary. No, next. The blue-dressed woman hurriedly waved her hand and said, No, sir, you've misunderstood. It's because you have the Providence plant pouch. Because of the restrictions set by my mother, I can only leave this place after refining my mother's dire beast core. However, this is the most important part of my mother. With it, I can always feel that my mother is by my side. I don't want to absorb it, so please put me in the Providence plant pouch and take me away. A hint of yearning appeared in the blue-dressed woman's eyes. I've grown up here for 100,000 years since I was young, and I yearn for the outside world. My mother's last words for me were that I could only leave after I refined her dire beast core and became a saint. Lin Chin suddenly understood. This woman was now exuding the aura of a peak seventh-order dire beast. She had already touched the threshold. If she had a great opportunity, she indeed had a chance to step into the ranks of sacred beasts. If she wanted to leave, she could only become a saint. However, to become a saint, she had to absorb the most important part of her mother. However, if she didn't become a saint, she still yearned for the outside world. I can take you out, but you have to explain to me what the previous master's mental cultivation method was. Lin Shin asked straightforwardly. Although this woman had lived for 100,000 years, she didn't have much experience. As soon as they met, she threw out her intentions, allowing Lin Chun to take the initiative. Well, when I was being nurtured by my mother, she once followed a human powerhouse. The mental cultivation method he cultivated was somewhat similar to the two of you. However, the previous master's mental cultivation method was relatively more advanced, but it was incomplete. It was called the Tai something technique. Lin Chen's heart surged. It couldn't be wrong. It was the Tai Futian technique that he dreamed of. Then where did the previous master go? Lin Chen asked anxiously. The woman in the blue dress shook her head. According to Mother's later records, he died in a place called the Sacred Burial Mountain Range. I don't know where it is, but Mother once mentioned that the previous master's fall was related to the fact that his cultivation method was extremely incomplete. This flaw was revealed when he was fighting against a high-level Saint Realm expert. Jiang Yun and Ning Qingxian were shocked. Lin Shin couldn't remain calm. CK were already at this critical juncture, and there are still so many things happening. What is this Sacred Burial Mountain Range? The Tai Futian technique was the best way for him to become stronger. Lin Shin had been searching for it for a long time, but he couldn't completely calm his heart. Chapter 10:24. Ning Qingxian held Lin Chen's hand and tried to calm him down. The Sacred Burial Mountain Range is located at the border between the southern region and the Yanhuang region. Countless saints have been buried there, and it is surrounded by miasma all year round. Unless one is a saint, no one can pass through the miasma. Only combat emperors can enter when the miasma dissipates. Jiang Yun said, I didn't expect it to be the Sacred Burial Mountain Range. That's a true primordial ominous ground. Even a saint would have a slim chance of survival if they entered the core area. The other female disciples shuddered when they heard that. The Sacred Burial Mountain Range. No matter what, I have to go there. Lin Chen's eyes were filled with the determination to cut off all means of retreat. The Tai Futian technique was an advanced mental cultivation technique for the 9 calamities of creation. According to the system's analysis, it was divided into 5 volumes. As long as one had 3 volumes, they would be able to cultivate it without any side effects. That so-called previous master might have caused a backlash from cultivating the Tai Futian technique without collecting more than 3 volumes. However, I have the system's ability to learn techniques, so I won't have such concerns. As long as I can find his whereabouts. Lin Shin already had 2 volumes of the Tai Futian technique. The whereabouts of this volume was crucial. Then, Lin Shin said, Don't worry, I will take you away. Jiang Yun and the other junior sisters looked at each other and smiled. Since Senior Fantasy Silk Snail is no longer here, we shouldn't be so thick-skinned as to ask for any help. Senior Fantasy Silk Snail has a deep relationship with the heart-refining Palace Master. We are not outsiders. Let us help Miss Silk Snail leave together. The beauty in the blue dress bowed. Thank you, everyone. Bang! Rumble. As soon as she finished speaking, the cave abode started to shake. Everyone was shocked. What's going on? There are attacks from the outside attacking this cave abode. The power to move mountains and fill seas stirred up the entire sea. Raging waves surged and turned into bluish-gold light blades that slashed at the stone walls outside the cave abode. Outside the cave, the Empyrean holy shark kept spitting out bluish-gold light blades. The power of each light blade disturbed the seabed and slammed into the stone walls outside the cave. More than 100 peak stage rank, 7 ferocious beasts attacked the other side of the stone wall. The Empyrean holy shark was out in full force. Ha! Hand over the fearsome beast core of the beautiful conch, and this king might be merciful and spare your life. Little beautiful conch, don't try to stop me. You're courting death. A Class 8 dire beast core was a treasure for dire beasts of the same level. In the past, it had never thought of doing this because the dream cheese snail was known for its ability to disturb the opponent's mind and its powerful defense. Unless the Empyrean holy shark had a breakthrough, it would never be able to break through the opponent's defense, let alone steal the beast core. However, the moment the cave dwelling was opened, it sensed the incomplete aura of the cave dwelling and realized that the lair of the illusion chi conch was an empty shell. Kakik, as long as I devour that dire beast core, that dragon phoenix body, and that group of humans, this king might be able to open the second sacred cave. When that time comes, not many people on Rainbow Island will be a match for this king. The Empyrean holy shark's brutality and greed continued to fester, and its attacks became more and more violent. Inside the cave dwelling, we were still discovered by the Empyrean holy shark. Everyone, this place won't last long. With what's left of my mother's power, she can only hold on for 10 hours at most. Everyone, please follow me. After I give you the things I want to give my mother, I'll have to trouble young master to take me away. The blue-dressed lady stood up, and her anxious words made Lin Chen's eyes light up. He released all of his clones and collected the attribute light balls in the cave, dwelling without hesitation. Obtained 6 high-grade water-type energy points. For high-grade water-type energy points, everyone followed the blue-dressed lady and went deeper into the cave dwelling. At this time, the cave dwelling was already on the verge of collapse, and everyone was racing against time. Lin Chen's clones explored many areas in the cave dwelling, looking for attribute light balls. Most of them were water-type attribute light balls. The moment they reached the deeper part of the cave dwelling, they saw veins flowing with blue energy all over the walls. Everyone gasped. Inside the cave dwelling was an even larger underground world. There was the shell of the dream cheese snail. It was 5-colored and shone with a misty purple light. What was even more shocking was the number of treasures in this place. Silver St. Origin coins were piled up like mountains. They were up to 100 meters tall, and there were several mountains of silver in front of them. There were even some gold St. Origin coins piled up. There were nearly 1,000 gold St. Origin coins, and there were at least 30 million silver St. Origin coins. An 8th-grade treasure, red blood crystal? What a big piece. My goodness, there are even 5 half-orange grade combat skills, 3 top-grade, purple-grade elixir alchemy manuals, 1 supreme-grade manual. Everyone was dumbfounded. No wonder the blue-dressed lady could cultivate so quickly in this cave dwelling. With such a terrifying amount of resources, even a pig could become a top-grade, 7th-grade dire beast. This is the Lost Meditation Sutra. Ning Qingxian was holding an ancient secret manual in her hand. She looked happy. Among the many treasures, she quickly found a suitable cultivation method for herself. As for Lin Shun, he was dumbfounded. He was not stunned by the wealth. He had 3 types of providence spiritual plants and was very wealthy. What he was stunned by was the large number of water-type light balls and battle aura essences that dropped from the shell of the dream chi snail. The attribute light balls were piled up like mountains. Lin Shin had never seen so many high-grade essences and high-grade water-type energy. There were also a lot of high-grade health essence light balls. The moment he released the Dragon Emperor, Lin Shin instantly absorbed all the attribute light balls that piled up like a mountain into his body. You have gained 5,399 battle aura essences, 12 high-grade water-type energy, 3,552 high-grade health points. Lin Chen's attributes soared all the way, with the high amount of attributes surging into his battle aura fate wheel. Even the plus 15 mental cultivation method could not keep up with the refinement. Lin Chen had no choice but to control all the clones that were wandering around the cave, dwelling, to activate the mental cultivation method and absorb all the attributes. Rumble, rumble. An earth-shattering battle aura came from Lin Chen's body. It was as if thunder was running and the sun and moon were moving across the sky. Congratulations, host, for advancing to the 4th Tribulation Combat Emperor. A force that was several times stronger than before surged into Lin Chen's body. Chi, rumble. It was not just one breakthrough. Lin Chen's pure strength burst out with thousands of dragon roars. Every pore and every inch of his flesh was filled with absolute strength. Not too much, not too much, just 80 million dragon power, 4th Tribulation Battle Aura, and 5th Tribulation Body Refinement Realm. Prince Lin Chen has broken through, and it's a double breakthrough. Oh no, he's going to attract a heavenly tribulation. While the girls were shocked, Lin Chen did not expect to break through directly this time. However, the expected heavenly tribulation did not appear. Heaven and earth were quiet. Apart from a shaking of the cave dwelling, nothing happened. What's going on? Where's my heavenly tribulation? Lin Chen was a little confused. Ning Qingxian suddenly smiled and said, "It's because of Rainbow Island. Rainbow Island is an independent plane completely isolated from the sacred boundary. This is an area where even the laws of the sacred boundary cannot sense. Naturally, you won't attract a heavenly tribulation when you break through." Chapter 1025. Ning Qingxian smiled faintly. In the past, no one has stepped into Rainbow Island with a 4th Tribulation cultivation base. There are many geniuses who can challenge 5th Tribulation combat emperors, but very few can challenge top geniuses. But you and Lil Shuang did it. Because of this, almost no one knows that breaking through here will avoid the 5th Tribulation. Lin Chen came to a realization. What a pity! If there is a heavenly tribulation, I will kill my way out, and this sky abyss holy shark won't dare to touch me. In the next moment, after taking the attribute light ball, Lin Chen discovered that the blue veins in the stone wall were connected to a huge heart. This heart was like jade, like a blue crystal, like the most beautiful treasure in the world. It hung on the stone wall and was 10 feet tall, shining brightly. If it wasn't for a special seal, the water energy emerging from this jade heart would have flooded the cave in an instant. Extreme water jade heart, damn. Lin Chen was shocked. This item was already fully formed. If it was given hundreds of thousands of years of accumulation, it had a higher chance of condensing into a low-grade odd crystal. This thing can be used to cultivate an odd crystal. It can cultivate a low-grade odd crystal. Lin Chen swallowed his saliva. Can we really take this thing away? The blue dress girl nodded. Yes, this is my mother's last wish. If an old friend comes, this is for their descendants. Furthermore, young master can take me away. Little Meng is very grateful. Miss, you are too polite. I owe you a favor. Taking you out is for me to obtain the information of the cultivation method. This extreme water jade heart is another matter. In the end, Lin Chen and Jiang Yin discussed for a long time. Lin Chen and the rest only wanted the extreme water jade heart and a scroll of the meditation scripture. Lin Chen didn't want any Silver Saint origin coins, including a large number of cultivation methods, peak rank 7 pill formulas, and pills as compensation for taking the extreme water jade heart. In fact, Lin Chen was the one who profited the most. The extreme water jade heart was more valuable than everything else. However, Jiang Yun and the other women insisted on sharing a portion with Lin Chen. The reason was very simple. It was all thanks to Lin Chen that they could reach this place. Also, the Black Horse Club had risked their lives to attract the attention of the Empyrean Holy Shark. The people of the Heart Refining Palace had done almost nothing. In the end, Lin Chen withdrew 300 Gold Saint origin coins before Jiang Yun let him go. Lin Shun planted the extreme water jade heart jade at the roots of the three spirit plants and began to cultivate new odd crystals. At this moment, red veins flowed within the pure gold tree's branches and leaves, and all the energy gathered at one point. A brand new fire attribute low-grade odd crystal was about to be born. This was a fire-type odd crystal cultivated by absorbing the sacred burning flame pearl. It was not comparable to odd crystal fragments. It was a true fire-type odd crystal. Its power could be said to be able to burn mountains and refine seas in an instant, including the light-type odd crystal from the ancient god inheritance. When Lin Xin stepped into the Saint Realm, he would have 3 low-grade odd crystals to refine. His foundation would be terrifyingly strong. Everyone, relax your mind. I will keep all of you in my luck plant pouch. A powerful suction pulled everyone. The blue dress girl, Xiao Meng, felt complicated and reluctant. She could finally go to the outside world. Everyone was kept in the peach blossom pouch and descended into a paradise. So beautiful. Hiss. Prince Lin Xin actually has 3 spirit plants of luck? Seeing the 3 behemoths that were more than 1,000 meters tall and full of vitality, the women of the heart-refining palace were stunned by the scene in front of them. Oh my god, all 3 spirit plants of luck are at their peak. No wonder young master doesn't want those silver saint origin coins. This is just a drop in the ocean for young master. Although Jiang Yin was shocked, she immediately reprimanded, "Don't move around. This is young master's luck plant pouch." The fact that young master let us in proves that he has absolute trust in us. Are you trying to pry into other people's secrets? What you see now, you are not allowed to mention it to anyone when you return to the palace. The women stuck out their tongues and immediately quieted down. Lin Xin was not afraid of them causing trouble. In the peach blossom pouch, he had absolute confidence in suppressing them. It was nothing more than revealing a little bit of his foundation. His true foundation was the system. This is the inside of the luck plant pouch. It is indeed as mysterious as recorded in the ancient books. Xiao Meng exclaimed, activated super-dimensional teleportation and teleported to coordinates 3. Consumed 18 intermediate talent points. Lin Xin, who was in the cave, disappeared with a spatial light above his head. Not long after, the cave collapsed, and the Empyrean Holy Shark led his subordinates into the cave. Ha ha ha, the sacred beast cores are mine. Get out here. The Empyrean Holy Shark laughed sinisterly as its huge body destroyed the water curtain in the cave. However, there was no trace of it after wreaking havoc. King, there's no one in the cave. Everything has been moved away too. The ferocious beast's subordinates reported to the Empyrean Holy Shark. Its eyes were burning with rage. My sacred beast cores, damn it. At this moment, a subordinate hurried over with a scroll in his hand. King, there's a scroll. It seems to have been left for you. The Holy Shark was stunned. It shot out a wave of water and bounced off the scroll. The Black Horse Club gives it to Shark King. Missed 9 times out of 10, humiliated 8 times. I saw you fail 7 times, but I didn't see your ambition 6 times. Rainbow Gazing Island. You're the only one who is useless. Shark Gazing Sea. 3 soldiers and 2 generals, unable to withstand a single blow. Abbreviated as Shark King. Roar. Incompetent rage shook the White Shark Sea. Unfortunately, the handsome guy had already teleported away, leaving this cave for Shark King. There's also a group of little idiots. On the cliff of the canyon, on a mountain peak, Lin Xin's figure appeared and released everyone. This is the outside world. Miss Xiao Meng breathed in the air of the outside world. She was quiet and elegant, and her eyes were filled with childlike innocence and yearning as she curiously sized up this world. This is still Rainbow Island. The outside world is even bigger. If Miss Xiao Meng is interested, you can come to our heart-refining palace to settle down. Jiang Yun said with a smile. Before everyone could talk, a rainbow bridge appeared in the sky. The bridge was thousands of miles away from Lin Shan and his group. From the west to the south, it attracted countless geniuses. When the light shone down, treasures began to fall. Rainbow Bridge. It's the second Rainbow Bridge. Master, let's go and fight for the treasures. Shunling Shuang was excited and waved her small fists. Lin Chen's entire body radiated with a monstrous fighting spirit. Yes, this time, I want to experience the strength of those guys. The current Lin Shun was no longer very far away from being a super first-rate genius in the legends. His main body and doppelganger were both at the 4th tribulation level and the 5th tribulation level respectively. It was extremely difficult for the Nangong Mia to suppress him. Jiang Yun smiled and said, "Counting the time, it's been about 4 days. Prince Lin Shun, it seems that we have to cooperate again." Both parties flew into the sky. Miss Xiaoming had nowhere to go, so she followed closely behind them. This time we'll do something big." The corners of Lin Shen's mouth rose slightly in an extremely coquettish arc. After the high-grade water-type energy and plus 15 mental cultivation method, the 9 tribulation stars had increased in power. With another instant light clone and 9 tribulation stars, Lin Shun could make the Nangong Mia happy. If the Nangong Mia knew what was good for him, Lin Shen did not intend to kill him. However, if he tried to stop him, he would kill whoever stood in his way. Lin Shen's goal this time was Orient Yao's head. Chapter 1026. The second Rainbow Sky Bridge has appeared. I wonder what kind of treasure will fall from the Rainbow Sky Bridge this time. Brother Eagle, let's work together. At this point, there's a limit to one's strength. The geniuses immediately sensed the appearance of the Rainbow Sky Bridge and rushed forward at full speed. In the gorge, a group of young geniuses floated in the air. The leader of the group was a red-robed young man with a pale face and resentment in his eyes. "Lin Shun, Black Horse Club. These bastards caused our Hongtian Hall to suffer heavy casualties. Even if I don't get the treasure this time, I will destroy them. Let's go. Let's find the Sun Moon Hall and the 100 Saints Gate. Orient Yao and I will work together to destroy these bastards." The red-robed young man waved his hand, and the geniuses quickly followed. A beautiful meteor shower descended from the second Rainbow Sky Bridge, stunning everyone. On the way, Lin Shen activated his purple gold eyes and clearly saw that every meteor was an odd crystal fragment. The treasure thrown by the second Rainbow Bridge is actually an odd crystal fragment? Lin Shen was pleasantly surprised. With odd crystal fragments, he could extract special attribute values and create a killing move. Even if it was a blue-rank intermediate killing move, Lin Shen could dominate the field. A blue-rank intermediate killing move could involve a saint and cause a certain amount of obstruction. But if it was used against a 5th Calamity Combat Emperor, it would be a devastating blow. He had used up all his killing moves because of the pursuit of more than 10 saints. Otherwise, the Nangong Mia and the others wouldn't have the chance to be so arrogant. Rumble. The sound of the wind whistled, and Lin Shen and the others saw many other geniuses rushing to the Rainbow Sky Bridge like them. They were on guard against each other. "I'll make a move first. You guys meet up with me later." Lin Shen couldn't wait to release the Holy Phoenix wings and used Light Dragon Flash to increase his speed. Many geniuses were dumbfounded. How's this kid so fast? His wings seem to be the Sacred Phoenix race's Phoenix wings. No, this kid has broken through to the 4th Calamity Combat Emperor. A few days ago, he was able to fight with Nangong Mia with his 3rd Tribulation Cultivation. Wouldn't he be able to turn the world upside down with his 4th Tribulation Cultivation? The mouths of over 100 geniuses twitched. This person was probably a monster. How could this growth speed be so ridiculous? Even if it's 2 odd crystal fragments. The special attribute points obtained from the decomposition are also enough for me to create a sure kill skill. With just one move, I can torture those geniuses to death. Lin Shen was prepared to activate the slow rune to snatch the odd crystal fragments. The location where the Rainbow Bridge scattered the odd crystal fragments was between 2 mountain valleys, surrounded by towering trees that reached the clouds. Whoosh! An odd crystal fragment fell, and Lin Shen was about to rush over when 2 figures flashed across the sky and grabbed the odd crystal fragment. Ha ha ha. A thunder fragment is just right for me. Lin Chun. The two of them were dressed in sun and moon robes. They had imposing appearances, sharp eyebrows, and bright eyes. They were the two super geniuses of Sun Moon Hall. Hand over the odd crystal fragment to me. The 8-stage transformation erupted, and Lin Chen's aura was no less than a fifth tribulation combat emperor. The ultimate moment instantly increased Lin Chen's mental power and pure strength. Lin Chen's life and death absolute force was unleashed. With the blessing of the charge and penetration rune, a powerful dragon that could twist the wind and clouds pierced through the sky. Not good. The two of them quickly retreated and unsheathed their swords. They unleashed their consummate skills and slashed out a long river of blade chi and sword aura to destroy Lin Chen's overbearing punch. The two of them were super geniuses. Although Lin Chun had broken through to the fourth tribulation, he still couldn't suppress them. Senior brother Nangong, Lin Chun is here. One of them shouted. Whoosh, whoosh. The wind whistled and divine light flashed. The 42 geniuses of Sun Moon Hall and the 100 saints gathered in the void and surrounded Lin Chun. Ha ha ha, Lin Chun, let's see who can protect you this time. He's simply courting death. He's definitely going to die this time. The Nangong Mia and the geniuses of Sun Moon Hall burst into ridicule as if they had absolute confidence in killing Lin Chun. Lin Chun wasn't afraid. He shook his shoulders and released all his doppelgangers. The 5 doppelgangers and the Dragon Emperor stood together. Their momentum was as firm as a rock and didn't waver at all. The two sides were dozens of miles apart, but there was an extremely oppressive atmosphere. Since you're all so confident, I'll give you a big gift. Lin Chun smiled faintly. A faint 9-colored starlight condensed in his palm and spun like a wheel. A destructive aura swept across the entire place. Activated level 6 penetration, level 6 recharge, level 6 heavenly invisibility rune. Increase host attack power by 480%, attack penetration by 23%, consumes 25 points of advanced rune energy. Activated orange talent. Instant light split shadows, consumes 19 points of intermediate talent. All the geniuses' expressions changed, and they retreated quickly. Damn, this Black Horse Club is a bunch of F***king lunatics. Who the F***ck would use their strongest killer move right away. Isn't this bullsh**t? Lin Chun wasn't reckless. He knew very well that as long as he got the 2 odd crystal fragments, he would have the upper hand. The power of 9 calamity stars couldn't be compared to the power of a killer move for the time being. In that case, creating a killer move was his priority. His move is several times stronger than before. Even I can't escape unscathed. Did he have a breakthrough in his cultivation? Nangong Miao was shocked. Lin Chun threw out the 9 calamity stars, and the 9-colored starlight split into 5 before disappearing instantly. The heavenly invisibility rune had concealed all traces and aura. Orient Yao's eyes trembled in fear. He actually held back before. Senior, please make your move. Nangong Miao roared, and glazed, desolate energy condensed from the surroundings. Like a square, it enveloped the space within a radius of dozens of kilometers where the 9 tribulation star had disappeared. Chi! Boom! The 5 9 tribulation stars crashed into the glazed energy wall and suddenly released 5 9-colored light pillars that pierced through the heavens and the earth. However, the light pillars were gradually compressed by the glazed energy, and the power of the 9 tribulations battle chi was unable to leak out. Lin Chen's expression changed slightly. This is a sage's move. What a powerful aura. It's not inferior to the Empyrean Holy Shark at all. Without any hesitation, Lin Chun flapped the purple sacred phoenix wings and used Dragon Flash to retreat. He was still no match for a sage. Kid, you still want to run? 2 mocking sneers sounded. 3 beams of holy light shot at the Jundak Shuai and the other 2 clones. The 3 clones were immediately crushed, and 1,000 illusion mask automatically returned to the system space. Lin Shan felt as if he was being stared at by some ancient beasts. His hair stood on end. At this moment, something strange happened. Activated passive talent. Assault, power bonus, 240%. Activated passive talent. Tier. Target's defense has been torn apart. The system light screen flickered. Crack. Bang. The 5 9-colored light pillars merged into one and broke through the glaze-colored cube. As the 9-colored light pillars spun, destructive energy spread out and absorbed all the light and air around it. All the geniuses were sucked toward the 9-colored light pillar. Oh no, save him first. What kind of move is this kid using? He's a combat emperor, and he broke through my holy power. The 2 black-robed figures were forced to retreat when they tried to capture Lin Shun. One of them saved the geniuses of Sun Moon Hall from the 9-colored light pillar, while the other shot out 7 beams of glaze-colored light from his palm and shattered the 9-colored light pillar. If it didn't help, at least 10 geniuses would die inside. Chapter 10:27. While the 2 sages were attacking, Lin Shun flapped his holy phoenix wings and pushed his speed to the extreme. He flashed to the top of a mountain and narrowed his eyes. They are not sages, but level 8 sacred beasts in human form. They shouldn't be from the outside world. They are sacred beasts from Rainbow Island. Lin Shen's heart was heavy. 2 level 8 sacred beasts were enough to suppress all the geniuses. Unless all the geniuses swarmed up and fought with their lives on the line, they might be able to slightly shake the power of the sacred beasts with their foundation. However, this was unrealistic. What's going on? These 2 black-robed men have such terrifying pressure. They are sages. Oh my God! The geniuses who arrived one after another were frightened and did not dare to act rashly. The geniuses of Sun Moon Hall were rescued, but they still had lingering fears. Apart from the top 10,300 geniuses, if they wanted to fight against Lin Shen's 9-colored light beam, there was almost no chance of survival. Even the top geniuses had the risk of dying. Nangong Mia cupped his fists. Thank you for your help, seniors. The 2 black-robed men waved their hands. We're just repaying the kindness of the past. Follow your plan from now on. Nangong Mia was overjoyed. He stood proudly in the void and announced to all the geniuses who had rushed here. Everyone, listen up. This place has been reserved by Sun Moon Hall. From now on, all the treasures passed down from the Rainbow Overpass will belong to Sun Moon Hall. As soon as he said that, the geniuses were shocked and angry. The women of the Heart-Refining Palace also rushed to Lin Shen's side. Hearing this announcement, Jiang Yun's face changed slightly. Aren't these guys afraid of provoking public anger? How dare they take it all for themselves? With Sun Moon Hall's foundation and status, even if they provoke all the geniuses, they don't have to be afraid of revenge from the forces behind them. Oh no, I didn't expect them to be able to invite sacred beasts. Jiang Yun gritted her teeth. This move was indeed a bit too ruthless. How can you be so excessive? 2 geniuses gritted their teeth. The 2 black-robed men's eyes were like lightning. They grabbed the void with one hand, and a strong wind flashed. Chi! Bang! Bang! 2 top geniuses were blasted apart by a huge force. One of them exploded into a bloody mist, while the other spat out a mouthful of blood as he turned into a bloody light and fled. He barely managed to survive. Who else? Nangongya's calm voice echoed in the area. More than 2,000 geniuses had arrived at the scene, but none of them dared to act rashly. The fate of those 2 geniuses was to make an example out of them. It's too difficult. If I don't have the means to contend against a sage expert, I won't be able to compete with these 2 sacred beasts. What should we do? Should we retreat? Or the Black Horse Club? Didn't he escape with a dozen Saint Realm cultivators? No matter how many odd crystal fragments fell from the sky like a meteor shower, the geniuses didn't dare to act rashly. Let's take a look first. Maybe those guys from the Sun Moon Hall will send those 2 holy beasts to deal with the Black Horse Club. At that time, we can fish in troubled waters some geniuses even cast their eyes on Lin Chen's group, looking forward to his amazing performance. Without a killing move, the only possibility for me to contend against these two big guys is to use the God Slayer talent and the War God wristband, as well as consume a lot of rune energy. But if I fight them head-on, I'll just be used as a tool by these guys. Lin Chen felt the gazes on him and sneered in his heart. But the odd crystal fragments are right in front of me. Maybe I could try to snatch them? Once I snatch them, I'll immediately break them down and change them into a killing move. Hesitation. Lin Chen was indeed hesitating. Judging from a number of odd crystal fragments that fell from the rainbow overpass, there were at least 200 odd crystal fragments, and it was still increasing. Once he obtained so many odd crystal fragments, his killing move would suppress everyone, and no one would be able to match him. But if the operation failed, it would mean that Lin Chen would lose his existing 1,990 points of high-grade rune energy. He would lose his trump card to contend against a sage expert from the outside world. Regardless of whether the operation succeeds or not, I will definitely consume a lot of high-grade rune energy. It's not worth it. Calm down, I must calm down. Lin Chen's eyes became deeper and deeper. The more difficult it was, the calmer he became. He stared at the people from Sun Moon Hall, and they were also looking at him. It was obvious that both sides didn't intend to take the initiative. The people from Sun Moon Hall were also wary of him. They knew that Lin Chen had escaped the pursuit of a sage and didn't intend to let the sacred beasts deal with him first. Their goal was to seize all the treasures on the Rainbow Overpass and not kill Lin Chen first. Should I use the innate shadow art to fish in troubled waters? Unless all the geniuses riot, it's not realistic. Without anyone snatching the fragments, the moment one fragment is missing, it will be immediately discovered, and the clone will be immediately killed by the sacred beasts. It's too risky. If there's only one sacred beast, I can risk it. But at the same time, I have to stop two sacred beasts, as well as all the geniuses from the 100 Saints Gate and Sun Moon Hall. Let's try using the heavenly invisibility rune and the innate shadow art to delay time with the slow rune. Even if I can do it, the nearby geniuses will take the opportunity to act immediately. There's a huge risk in doing so. It's not worth it. I won't be able to fight this battle. Lin Chen sighed in his heart. He had already made up his mind, unless he used all his trump cards like the God Slayer and the War God Bracer. Moreover, these trump cards had a time limit. If he couldn't kill the two sacred beasts, what about after the battle? It wasn't worth it to use all his trump cards for a portion of the odd crystal fragments. In fact, there was another way, which was to take out the odd crystal fragments that he had refined. But this would seriously affect his cultivation and reduce his elemental attribute value. Taking out the refined, odd crystal fragments could easily leave behind internal injuries that were difficult to repair. Thus, Lin Chen didn't want to do this to himself or the people around him. He didn't regret giving the 13 fire-type odd crystal fragments that he had painstakingly cultivated to Shun Ling Xuan. With Orion Yao as his opponent, he had to go all out. Lin Chen raised his hand and said to the people around him, "Let's go, this battle can't." Boom! Suddenly, a shocking idea emerged in Lin Chen's mind. He stared at the two sacred beasts with excitement on his face and his eyes bursting with light. The way he stared at the two sacred beasts was like a 1,000-year-old drunkard who had seen a 10,000-year-old wine. It was like a 100-year-old bachelor who had taken off his pants and entered a beauty's boudoir. The geniuses next to him saw his strange gaze and couldn't help but feel a chill down their spines. Damn, why do I feel that this kid's gaze is a little perverted? Damn, look at him. He actually swallowed his saliva while looking at the two sacred beasts. Is he crazy? Could it be that he really has a way to contend with the sacred beasts? Even the two sacred beasts couldn't help but reveal doubts. Could it be that this kid really has a way to deal with the two of them? The women from the heart-refining palace also stared at Lin Chen curiously. Under everyone's gaze, Lin Chen suddenly looked up and laughed. "Ha, Sun Moon Hall. Oh, Sun Moon Hall, you guys are still one step ahead. This time, you guys have one." Lin Chen laughed very happily. Following that, the corners of his mouth curled up into an arrogant smile. "But I'm betting on what happens next." Lin Shun waved his hand and smiled to the people around him. Let's go. Since the rainbow overpass has been booked, let's go sightseeing and play for a few days. Lin Chen's strange behavior caused everyone to be puzzled. Was he really crazy? Why did he come to Rainbow Island to play? This guy's lost his mind. Let's go too. We didn't get the treasure in the rainbow overpass, but there are many other rare treasures in other areas. Some geniuses started to leave in disappointment, while others looked at Sun Moon Hall enviously. Without a doubt, with the help of the two sacred beasts, no one would be able to compete with them in the following rainbow overpasses. And the Black Horse Club was just a loser. Lin Chen's lips curled into a playful smile as he left. The show has just begun. Chapter 1028. So let's go too. Damn it. I don't know how these guys managed to invite the sacred beasts. Damn it. If an orange combat skill appears in the next rainbow bridge, it will be snatched away by these guys. No one can snatch food from the tiger's mouth in front of the sacred beasts. It's too difficult. Damn it. Why am I so unlucky to have such a thing happen in this year's Rainbow Island? The geniuses cursed and left. More than 2,000 geniuses gradually scattered and left. Indeed, the two sacred beasts definitely couldn't stop everyone, but it was enough to kill most of the geniuses, who would risk their lives for these odd crystal fragments. Everyone had the potential to become a sacred beast in the future. It wasn't worth it to gamble their lives for the Rainbow Bridge. The odd crystal fragments dropped by the Rainbow Bridge have extended to thousands of miles away. Go and collect them. Nangong Mie instructed his junior brothers and junior sisters. They all took action and collected the odd crystal fragments. All of them earned a lot. Thank you, seniors, for your help. Nangong Mie cupped his fists and was neither servile nor overbearing. The two waved their hands. We're just repaying the favor. Moreover, we might need your help next. If not for the pills from Sun Moon Hall, second brother and I would have died. The true form of the two sacred beasts was the three-green king scorpion, one of the most powerful beasts on Rainbow Island. 80,000 years ago, they were very close to becoming a rank 8 sacred beast, but they were chased by the sacred beast during a battle for the Rainbow Bridge. After that, the two brothers were saved by the pills provided by the former geniuses of Sun Moon Hall and owed them a favor. When the descendants of Sun Moon Hall came looking for them, they had to help. The reason why the two scorpions didn't appear in the first few decades of Rainbow Island was because they were in seclusion to break through to the sacred beast realm. The geniuses of Sun Moon Hall, who saved the two of them back, then were now sacred beasts. Both sides exchanged battle chi imprints back then. When they became sacred beasts, the saints of Sun Moon Hall were the first to know and sent their geniuses to participate in Rainbow Island. In the past, the geniuses of Sun Moon Hall didn't participate in Rainbow Island many times. But this time, they had absolute confidence that their geniuses would reap enough rewards. Lin Shin, no matter what tricks you have up your sleeve, there's no way you can reverse this outcome. Once we've collected all the treasures on the Rainbow Bridge, the two saints will exterminate you. Orient Yao stared in the direction where Lin Shun had left with a sinister smile on his face. The Nangong Mie seemed to be in control of everything. He smiled indifferently and said, "This time, we've eliminated 3 people from the Black Horse Club. This kid must be very angry. That's why he did that, to please the crowd." The two saints had just killed Lin Chen's doppelganger in an instant. They thought that the people of the Black Horse Club had already been killed on the other side, in the canyon. A certain Lin walked slowly in the forest, his face relaxed and calm. Seeing Lin Chen's calm appearance, the women of the heart-refining palace became even more curious. They couldn't see through him. No matter what, they couldn't see through Lin Chen's thoughts. "Prince Lin Chen, do you have the confidence to fight against the Sun Moon Hall?" Jiang Yin couldn't help but ask. Some female disciples also came up and said, "Yes. Why is young master so calm? So many odd crystal fragments were taken by them. It's really infuriating." The women were unwilling, but Lin Shun smiled indifferently. "I don't have the confidence to fight against the two sacred beasts from the Sun Moon Hall. Then he changed the topic. But no one said that we have to snatch the things on a rainbow bridge when we come to the Rainbow Island. Lin Chen's words stunned everyone. Even Ning Qingxian was stunned. Lin Chen stopped and looked at the Miss Xiao Meng of the illusion Qigong. His eyes revealed a sharp light. Who are the richest people on the Rainbow Island? It's those rank 8 sacred beasts that dominate the island. Those sacred beasts have lived on the Rainbow Island for countless years and have experienced the baptism of the Rainbow Bridge. How can the treasures in their lairs be considered few? His words stirred up 1,000 waves. I want to plunder all the lairs of those sacred beasts. I don't believe that it can't be compared to those rainbow bridges. Lin Chun spoke cheerfully and wittily, revealing a kind of absolute confidence. All the women of the heart-refining palace were stunned. Reverse thinking, simply applauding. Yes, no one said that they had to insist on snatching the treasures on the Rainbow Bridge. The richest ones were most likely those rank 8 sacred beasts. This point could be seen from the illusion Qigong's cave abode. The abundant cultivation resources were enough to allow his daughter to cultivate to the peak of rank 7. That's right, plunder the sacred beast lairs. This was Lin Chen's next plan. Why bother with the Rainbow Bridge? Just focus on the back. Moreover, even if he couldn't plunder the sacred beast lairs, he would still benefit a lot from stealing the sacred beast's attribute points. That's not right. It's impossible that no one thought of this after countless years. Even if Prince Lin Chen knows that the sacred beast lairs are the places where the treasures on the Rainbow Island are the most concentrated, how would he steal the treasures of the sacred beast lairs? No. Jiang Yun became more and more terrified as she thought about it. He thought of the amazing method the Black Horse Club used to escape from the Empyrean Holy Shark. The sacred beast's strength was equivalent to a saint. No matter how amazing the countless geniuses who entered the Rainbow Island were, they couldn't compete with the sacred beasts, let alone plunder their treasures. Therefore, Lin Shun was definitely not the first person to think of this, but he was the most likely person to accomplish it, because even the Empyrean Holy Shark couldn't catch him. Prince Lin Shun is really the future true dragon. This time, we will only be a burden to you. We won't get involved. Jiang Yin cupped her fists, but Lin Shun smiled and said, "Oh, I was just about to discuss the cooperation with you. You're leaving so soon?" Jiang Yun's eyes lit up. "I'd like to hear the details." White Shark Deep Sea. The smell of blood drifted in the pitch-black deep sea. The 7 rows of sea beasts following the sacred shark were all silent. The Empyrean Holy Shark had already swallowed more than a dozen peak stage Class 7 white sharks before it was slightly appeased. After being played by humans, it deeply felt that its dignity as a sacred beast had been trampled on. It had already decided to officially come out of seclusion to fight that damned human. The Empyrean Holy Shark transformed into a middle-aged man in a blue robe. His golden hair made him look noble and noble, like a king. Speaking of which, it's time for the Rainbow Bridge to appear again. I wonder if there will be a 9-colored rainbow bridge this time. I'll go out and take a look. Roar! I'll kill that damned human while I'm at it. He shot through the sea like a sharp arrow. The sacred shark had already left its nest. Every time the Rainbow Bridge appeared, there would be many sacred beasts on Rainbow Island paying attention to the situation on the Rainbow Bridge. The sacred beasts wouldn't attack easily. Their target was the rare 9-colored rainbow bridge that appeared at the end. The 9-color rainbow bridge would release large amounts of special energy bodies and extraordinary items, which had extraordinary nourishing effects on the sacred beast bodies. Suddenly, a hearty laugh reverberated through the sea without any warning. A 2-headed shark with 3 pairs of shark fins and 4 rows of shark teeth. It's a little sharp, but I can't see its internal organs. It's left with 7 sets of crippled genitals and 90% of its fat. It's a full-fledged shark. The Empyrean Holy Shark was instantly enraged, and a monstrous, murderous aura surged out, sweeping up raging waves. Damned human, you're courting death. Chapter 1029. A proud and noble young man in white stood on the waves with his arms crossed in front of his chest. He had a mocking smile on his face. Beside him, there was also an elegant and otherworldly green-robed young master. The two of them looked down at the sea. There were thousands of waves on the surface of the sea, and a group of huge sharks surfaced. The Empyrean holy shark stood on the shark's head with an extremely gloomy expression. "Oh, Shark King actually didn't attack me immediately. This doesn't match your character." The white-clothed young man laughed in ridicule, and he was carefree, as if he didn't care about the situation he was in. "Human race? Are you in the same group as that guy with the dragon phoenix body?" The Empyrean holy shark was dressed in a blue robe and had a tall figure. It was dozens of feet tall in its human form. Under its golden hair was a pair of murderous beast eyes. The young master in green scolded, "Dog Shark, watch your tone when you talk to my big brother Nangong. Who do you think you are? You're just a rotten shark. Do you believe that I'll make fish head soup out of you tonight? Damn it. How dare you be so arrogant when you're not in the same group as before? You're courting death." Boom! The Empyrean holy shark was enraged by this puny human and instantly attacked. Its 5 fingers clenched the void, and the sea exploded. Boom! The two of them exploded into a bloody mist, but the bloody mist quickly turned into light and disappeared. The Empyrean holy shark was stunned. Something's wrong. Inside the Holy Shark Palace, a mountain of silver Saint Origin coins was placed in the backyard of the palace, protected by the Holy Beast's energy. Lin Shun threw out dozens of punches that landed on the energy barrier. With a chi sound, cracks appeared on the barrier. Host activated passive talent. Tear. Boom! The energy barrier shattered, and Lin Shun and the others barged into the courtyard. Just like what Master said, there are so many treasures here. Shunling Shuang happily held a large amount of silver Saint Origin coins and cheered. Lin Shun looked around and didn't see any odd crystal fragments. Moreover, these things weren't comparable to the Holy Beast. Lin Shun frowned. "No, there are only silver Saint Origin coins and some treasures here. There aren't even many rank 8 herbs. The real good stuff is still on it." Boom! The violent killing intent could be clearly felt from 1,000 miles away. The Empyrean holy shark had returned. "Hide in my peach blossom plant pouch and leave the rest to me." Lin Shun put everyone into the peach blossom pouch. After several dozen breaths of time, the sea currents surged like a storm. "No wonder you all suddenly stopped me. So you all want to be thieves. You weak humans actually managed to break through my defensive barrier. I have to say, you're a bunch of freaks." The Empyrean holy shark returned to the palace with a murderous aura. Big Brother Nangong is a local, and he has 100 ways to make you unable to stay here. "You're a local, my ass." Roar! The Empyrean holy shark punched the green-robed young man and disappeared in a flash of light. It was a clone. "Human, Nangong Mia, you're courting death. He just said that 2 holy scorpions submitted to him. Good, very good. I roughly know who those 2 fellows are. This human must die." 3 days later, 50,000 miles south of Rainbow Island, deep in the mysterious underworld ley line, a shell that looked like a mountain stood motionless in the earth vein. Suddenly, the shell moved slightly, and the ground shook. There's the aura of a Class 8 dire beast core. A thick and solid pitch-black head emerged from the shell. It was a tortoise's head. Class 8 sacred beast, Earth Abyss sacred turtle. It sensed the presence of a Class 8 dire beast core and woke up from its slumber. Its body was nearly 1,000 meters long, and its incomparably huge tortoise shell was like a moving mountain. Its 4 claws were as thick and solid as jade pillars that reached the sky. The claws were sharp and exuded a heavy and ancient feeling that could tear apart mountains and rivers. It was as if nothing could stop this big guy. The Earth Abyss sacred turtle had just left the cave when it suddenly felt something was wrong. Whoosh! A flash of light appeared without warning. It was wrapped in a faint dark membrane. It swept past and took all the storage rings scattered in the cave. "Damn thief, you're courting death." The Earth Abyss Sacred Turtle was shocked and angry. It spat out an Earth element energy storm, crushing everything in its path. The space flashed, and the figure disappeared. The Sacred Turtle's breath missed. Activated Stealing Omen. Attribute Steel. 70 Advanced Earth Element Energy. The young man in white floated in the air. The green-robed young man raised his eyebrows and whistled with a smile. "Hey, big guy, your things belong to Big Brother Nangong Mia now." Chapter 10:30. Human, you are seeking your own death, the mysterious holy turtle said in a deep voice. Its voice was as heavy as 1,000 mountains, shaking the earth and the mountains. "If you have the strength to play with my big brother Nangong Mia, we don't mind playing with you to the end. My big brother Nangong Mia likes to fight with those who think they are outstanding." The cyan-robed young master Orient Yao smiled, and the Earth Netherworld mysterious holy turtle opened its mouth and shot out 10 beams of light. Boom! The pure power of the mysterious holy turtle was released at once, and the pressure within a radius of 10 miles and 10,000 feet suddenly increased. The ground burst open, forming a Dragon Emperor's mysterious azure dragon domain, suppressing the opponent with its dragon power. The pure power released by a level 8 holy beast was enough to crush most peak level 7 holy beasts in a meat paste. Whoosh! Even so, the two figures still flashed like ghosts and disappeared in a flash. "Ha! Brother Turtle, you should go back to sleep. My big brother Nangong Mia has 2 holy beasts protecting him. Even if you catch up, you won't be able to defeat him. We're going to buy all the treasures on the Rainbow Island today." The young man's mocking voice echoed, and the Earth Netherworld mysterious holy ghost was so angry that it waved its claws and crawled quickly, shaking the mountains. "Damn human, Nangong Mia, right? Good. Very good." Obviously, this Nangong Mia and Orient Yao were Lin Shun and his doppelganger in disguise. The 1,000 illusion mask could disguise one's appearance and aura, making it impossible for saints to distinguish. It could also perfectly imitate a person's appearance and temperament. It could even slightly change the figure. However, Lin Shun had never used the 1,000 illusion mask to disguise others before. The reason was very simple. It was useless to imitate a person's aura and appearance. As long as one attacked, there would be flaws. Anyone who knew the impersonator would be able to see the difference in the attributes of the battle chi at a glance. However, the holy beasts on the Rainbow Island did not know Nangong Mia and the others. Moreover, Lin Shun didn't even need to fight with the holy beasts. After stealing the items, he would use the super-dimensional teleportation to escape. As long as the holy beasts remembered his aura and appearance, everything would be fine. 2 hours later, in the cave at the peak of the mountain, everyone gathered and shared the vast amount of resources they had obtained from the 8th grade holy beast. So many treasures. It even has 4 scrolls of a half-orange grade technique. This sacred beast foundation is simply extraordinary. The women of the heart-refining palace happily held large amounts of heavenly treasures and silver Saint Origin coins. Prince Lin Chen's move is too powerful. It's simply flawless. He didn't need any tricks to find a way to contend with the 2 holy beasts in the Sun Moon Hall. The Sun Moon Hall was supposed to dominate Rainbow Island this time, but things are different now that they've met Prince Lin Shun and the young masters of the Black Horse Club. Jiang Yun stared at Lin Shun with her beautiful eyes. This young man was too unpredictable. No one could figure out his next move. If this continued, even if the Sun Moon Hall had 2 holy beasts, it would still be unknown. Keep a low profile. Keep a low profile. The people of the Black Horse Club have always kept a low profile after doing good deeds. Lin Shun said with a smile, "After all, I'm the most handsome man in the sacred boundary." That's right. Lin Shun was going to divert the trouble. The Black Horse Club was in charge of stealing to their heart, and the Sun Moon Hall would be the one to blame. The Nangong Mia and Orient Yao would be the scapegoats. Wasn't he very cocky because he had 2 holy beasts protecting him? Then he would attract all the holy beasts on Rainbow Island to his Sun Moon Hall as a gift. Let's see who would die first. Were the two holy beasts or the entire Rainbow Island's holy beasts more awesome? After everyone split the loot, the girls of the Heart-Refining Palace insisted on only 20% of the treasures, and the remaining 80% would go to Lin Shun. And if there were odd crystal fragments, Lin Shun would take them first. The Heart-Refining Palace and the others were mainly responsible for protecting Miss Xiaoming's safety. They would use her mother's rank 8 vicious beast core to lure the holy beasts out of their caves and wait for an opportunity to snatch the treasures and collections of the holy beasts. The division of labor was clear. Boom! At this moment, flowers fell from the sky and strange phenomena appeared. Everyone was shocked and flashed outside the cliff. A beautiful and translucent rainbow bridge appeared again. A large number of treasures poured down from the rainbow bridge, and there were many rank 8 exotic ores and rank 8 forging scrolls that were priceless. It was just that the location was extremely far away, and there was the aura of a rank 8 holy beast below the rainbow bridge. This rainbow bridge was still reserved by the Sun Moon Hall, but the corners of Lin Chen's mouth rose crazily. You still want to F*King reserve all the rainbow bridges? Reserve my ass. From now on, it's not certain who will have the last laugh. If they were going to do it, they would do it big. Now, let these guys be happy first. The main show had just begun. 2 days later, in the Blood Forest, the grayish-white cave abode looked like it was made of bones. It was thousands of feet tall and stood between heaven and earth. No ferocious beast dared to approach this blood forest within a radius of thousands of miles, because there was a rank 8 holy beast living here, the blood demon Wolf King. It liked to hunt all kinds of low-level ferocious beasts, and its killing intent was several times stronger than ordinary ferocious beasts. Inside the cave abode, there was a 200-meter tall dark red wolf lying on the ground. Its fur had the hardness of a top-grade defensive treasure, but it was incomparably tough. Its breath was full of the smell of blood, and there was a large number of bloody skeletons beside it. It was obvious that it had just eaten. Although it closed its eyes to rest, there was still a bright red eyeball rotating in the center of its head, constantly vigilant of the surroundings. Today, the Wolf King's cave abode welcomed an uninvited guest. A playful voice suddenly echoed in the cave abode. "Here, Sun Moon Hall, open the door and check the water meter." The Wolf King's eyes suddenly opened, and a cruel and bloodthirsty light flickered in the darkness. 15 minutes later, the blood demon Wolf King broke out of the cave abode and roared angrily. "Human, you're F*King courting death." Another day later, in the white-green forest sea, there were as many towering trees as there were hairs on a cow. Some ancient trees were thousands of meters tall, and their branches and leaves were in full bloom, covering the sky. The forest sea nurtured countless heavenly treasures, forming an ocean of forests. It was like a prehistoric world, and everything was filled with a prehistoric aura. High up in the sky, giant eagles, golden chariots, and ancient falcons crisscrossed in the sky, as if they had become the overlords of the sky. They fought with each other, and sometimes there was a bloody battle because of the heavenly treasures. Inside the forest sea, a nest was built on top of a mountain, and it was a place that none of the birds dared to approach, because this nest was where the only king of the white-green forest sea lived. Rank 8 holy beast, immemorial golden eagle, the only overlord of the white-green forest sea. A coquettish laughter came from the golden eagle's nest. "Great eagle, pigeon, are you there? Open the door, fellow countrymen." Many geniuses who had snuck in to search for opportunities carefully hid their auras as they entered the forest sea again and again, searching for the treasures left behind by the Rainbow Bridge. Suddenly, a murderous aura surged into the sky, and a sharp cry spread out in all directions. Where did this human come from? Courting death. All the geniuses were shocked. This was the voice of the immemorial golden eagle. Holy *T, Isn't this the immemorial golden eagle? Wasn't it said to be in hibernation all year round? Why did it suddenly wake up? The geniuses who had snuck in were so scared that they hurriedly ran away. And rank 8 holy beast was not something they could covet. However, the geniuses who had escaped from the white-green forest sea realized that this was only the beginning of a nightmare. The earth nether mystic Saint Turtle in the mysterious dark mountain range, the blood demon wolf king in the blood forest, the immemorial golden eagle in the white-green forest sea, the Empyrean Saint Shark in the White Shark Sea, and the desolate Saint Ape in the chilling Wind Canyon. It exploded. The entire Rainbow Island exploded. All the overlords of the Rainbow Island, the holy beasts that ruled over their own areas, all came out of seclusion, and many regions of the Rainbow Island were in a state of chaos. Lin Chun. I've already lost contact with them on Rainbow Island. Sometimes I miss the time when I stole their attributes. Chapter 1031. Oh my God, the immemorial golden condor, the abyssal holy shark, even these ferocious holy beasts have come out. Crazy, they're all crazy. Who the hell told me that the holy beasts of Rainbow Island were all in hibernation all year round? What the hell is going on? Which damned bastard provoked all these monsters? Even the earth netherworld mystic holy turtle is here. Isn't it known as the most neutral holy beast on Rainbow Island? The entire Rainbow Island was filled with wails. The screams of many geniuses could be heard everywhere. The holy beasts that usually didn't come out for 10,000 years had all come out at the same time. The holy beasts of Rainbow Island were looking for something as if they had gone crazy. Countless geniuses were so shocked that they didn't dare to look for any treasures or opportunities. They all went into hiding. What a joke. A crazy holy beast was enough to kill hundreds of top geniuses. All the holy beasts of Rainbow Island were on a rampage. What kind of opportunities were they looking for? The only reason they were still alive was because their ancestors had opened their eyes in heaven. In the Green Jade Valley, the 3 top geniuses were like chickens that had been forced into a corner. They were sealed in midair and had no power to fight back. In the outside world, these famous geniuses of the 36 domains were all trembling in fear, their teeth chattering. The 2 holy beasts in human form bared their teeth at them. The immemorial golden condor, who had transformed into a golden-robed middle-aged man, asked ferociously, "You human brats better not play any tricks with this king. I will only ask you once, what the hell is the Sun Moon Hall? Which bastard is the Nangong Mia?" The 3 were stunned, and the delicate girl immediately said in a trembling voice, "Senior, the Sun Moon Hall is one of the strongest forces that entered Rainbow Island this time. The Nangong Mia is the young genius leader of this force, the strongest force that entered Rainbow Island this time? Oh, no wonder they dare to be so arrogant." The immemorial golden condor sneered. The holy ape narrowed his eyes and asked murderously, "Where are they now? If you can't answer, you'll die. We don't know where they are right now, but we are sure that the next time the Rainbow Bridge appears, the people from the Sun Moon Hall will definitely be there, because they now have the help of 2 holy beasts. They have threatened to take all the treasures from the Rainbow Bridge for themselves." The other Sword Emperor genius spoke in a low voice. He feigned calm on the surface, yet he was trembling with fear in his heart. Being surrounded by 2 saint beasts, there were probably not many geniuses on the genius ranking who could remain calm. 2 sacred beasts? Just as they said, there are 2 saint beasts for them to use. Humph. In my opinion, the humans in the Sun Moon Hall are very cunning. They have a secret technique that can conceal their aura and travel through space. The holy ape and the immemorial golden eagle exchanged a glance. "Let's work together and find those guys from Sun Moon Hall. We'll launch a sneak attack and kill them. Take our things back. Let's do that." The 2 saint beasts could not be bothered with the 3 geniuses. In a split second, they flew into the sky. The 3 of them were drenched in cold sweat. "Damn it, I thought I was really going to die. The Saint Bees said they were looking for the people from Sun Moon Hall. Could it be that there's some conflict between them? If that's the case, I'm afraid we can take advantage of the situation. Similar scenes played out continuously on Rainbow Island. The Saint Beasts all learned of the names of the Nangong Mia and Orient Yao and began to search for the two of them with all their might. The Sun Moon Hall and the 100 Saints Gate had become the center of this storm. However, these two forces were completely oblivious to it. Ever since they announced that they were going to take all the treasures from the Rainbow Bridge, they stood on the opposite side of all the geniuses. Almost none of the geniuses reported to them, let alone know where they were. Only the two holy scorpions, who were also level 8 Saint Beasts, seemed to have sensed that more than one Saint Beast had come out of seclusion and became curious. As for the initiator of all this, Lin Fan, he was hiding at the highest point and cultivating in seclusion peacefully. In a cave on the cliff, Lin Shun and the girls from the Heart Refining Palace were cultivating in seclusion again. Suddenly, a 9-colored brilliance rose from the peach blossom plant pouch. Lin Shun was pleasantly surprised, and his consciousness entered the peach blossom plant pouch. Ling Shuang has finally broken through to the 5th Tribulation Combat Emperor. These days, other than pretending to be the Nangong Mia to provoke the Saint Beasts, Lin Shen had let Shun Ling Shuang cultivate in seclusion in the peach blossom plant pouch to break through to the 5th Tribulation Combat Emperor. There was no need to go through the tribulation on Rainbow Island. This was the best place to break through to the next level. The little girl's accumulation was already sufficient, and she only needed an opportunity. This opportunity was the strange birth tribulation pill, a long-lost level 7 pill of the Rainbow Island. It could increase the probability of breaking through to the 4th Tribulation Combat Emperor. Inside the peach blossom plant pouch, under the long Qing Shu, Shun Ling Shuang's eyes were flowing with a blue divine light. Her temperament was completely different from the little girl who was just a playful and gluttonous little girl. Shun Ling Shuang's skin glowed with a new brilliance. Her pretty face glowed with vigor. Between her eyebrows, there was an extraordinary awe-inspiring, sonorous, holy, and untainted by the filth of the mortal world. Divine light flowed from Shun Ling Shuang's eyes, as if an invincible Valkyrie had descended to the world. It was a kind of temperament that transcended all mortal beings. Heaven and earth may decay, but God is immortal, eternally existing, immortal and indestructible. Even when Lin Shun looked directly into her eyes, he could feel a kind of suppression from her life force. The cold light was bone-piercing, and a sense of crisis filled his whole body. What's going on? Didn't she break through to the 5th Tribulation Combat Emperor? How did this little girl become a different person? Lin Shen's spiritual body appeared in the peach blossom plant pouch, his face full of shock. As soon as Lin Shen's voice fell, Shun Ling Shuang's temperament that transcended all mortal beings disappeared, and she returned to her former innocent little girl appearance. Lin Shen rushed forward and grabbed the little girl, asking in surprise, "Ling Shuang, are you all right?" Shun Ling Shuang said with a blank face, "Just now, that was such a strange feeling. It was as if as long as I used my bloodline, I could do anything." Ning Qing Xian, who was in the peach blossom plant pouch, thought for a moment. She, who was always calm, finally showed some surprise. It can't be wrong. It's the awakening of her bloodline. This little girl's martial saint. No, Valkyrie bloodline. She's turned on the awakening switch in advance. Awakening her bloodline in advance. Lin Shun was delighted. This should be a good thing, right? If Ling Shuang really has the Valkyrie bloodline, then the other geniuses on the genius ranking are simply no match for her. Ning Qing Xian said with a serious face, "No, it's not necessarily a good thing. Little Shuang, Er's body is too young and slender. Clearly, she hasn't reached the point where she can withstand the awakening of her bloodline. If it really fully awakens, I'm afraid she will completely collapse. Moreover, the reason is very likely to be you." Lin Shun was stunned. "Me? I don't seem to have done anything to interfere with Ling Shuang's bloodline." Ning Qing Xian shook her head. "No, you did. It's that technique of yours that allows people to quickly learn combat skills. Lin Shan was startled and cried out involuntarily. Could it be that it's because of consuming the essence of a technique to learn a technique? Chapter 1032. During this period of time, Lin Shan had also used the technique essence to help Ning Qingxian learn the secret manual of the meditation scripture from the illusory chi snail. Therefore, she knew about Lin Shan's heaven-defying methods. Ning Qingxian was amazed that he was able to master the meditation scripture in just one day. But now that she thought about it in reverse, this mysterious power was very similar to the characteristics of the martial god's bloodline. It was the only possibility to awaken Shun Lingshuang's bloodline in advance. Indeed, every time I use the technique essence to help Lingshuang learn a cultivation technique, it will produce a high-quality, high-grade technique essence. It's much faster than when I first met this girl. After realizing the problem, Lin Shan decided that before Shun Lingshuang could withstand the bloodline awakening, he would not use the technique essence to help her learn any more cultivation techniques. I'm fine, as long as I can help master. I don't feel any discomfort right now. Shun Lingshuang clenched her fists and smiled innocently. Lin Shan smiled and said, "All right, you should have good rest. It must have been hard for you to break through your cultivation." After that, Lin Shan consumed dozens of long qingwo. After these days of accumulation, excluding the long qingwo that he used halfway, he still had 490 long qingwo left. After consuming the long qingwo, Lin Shan's high-grade blood and qi attribute skyrocketed. He also allowed his 5 clones to refine the red gold vines that were over 100 meters long, and his body refinement realm became even more powerful. After stabilizing his cultivation state, Lin Shan counted the spoils of war and opened the system in one go. Heavenly Tao Possession System version 6. 0. Host. Lin Shan. Cultivation. For Tribulation Combat Emperor. High-grade essence. 3. 33 million points limit strength. 89. 51 million dragon power. High-grade blood and chi. 3. 58 million points. Continuously increasing. High-grade spirit attribute. 3,799 points. Close to half-step saint. High-grade technique essence. 4,580 points. High-grade rune energy. 2,988 points. Mid-grade heavenly Tao points. 4,227 points. Mid-grade talent points. 3,811 points. Blank attributes. 600,000 points. Strengthening points. 2. 49 million points. Advanced elemental energy. Fire 2124 points. Earth 1941 points. Wood 2001 points. Metal 2166 points. Water 2886 points. Lightning 2095 points. Wind 2174 points. Light 1414 points. Dark 1821 points. Technique status column. 9 Calamities of Creation plus 15. Taishur Holy Scripture plus 14. Heaven Control plus 13. Dragon Flash plus 14. Sword Fury Raises the Sky plus 13. Mirror Moon plus 13. Bloodline status column, open or not. Passive talent column. Green rank, dual cultivation acacia. Purple rank, assault. Purple rank, laceration. Orange rank, fragment of the supreme god's possession, 2/4. Ultimate skill column, open or not. Active talent column, open/confirm. Characteristic rune column, open/not. Talent combination skill, open/not. Lin Shan broke down and stole the Holy Beast's attribute points along the way. Most of his elemental attribute points had already reached over 2,000 points. It could be said that his strength had skyrocketed. Now, without using the slow rune and instant light split shadow, I can match any super genius in a one-on-one fight. I can even fight the extremely strong Nangong Mia head-on. Bloodline attribute strengthening, cultivation breakthrough, pure strength advancement, elemental attribute increase, spiritual power skyrocketing, and the enhancement of various fields made Lin Shan a completely different person compared to when he first entered Rainbow Island. The foundation of a rank 8 sacred beast is extremely strong. I obtained 6 scrolls of rank 8 pill recipes, more than 60 types of rank 8 rare ores, 7 half-orange cultivation methods, and more than 1,000 types of rank 8 treasures, but the number of odd crystal fragments is pitiful. I only obtained 8 odd crystal fragments. Lin Chen pondered. Because the odd crystal fragments were too little for the holy beasts, the holy beasts almost didn't collect them. The situation is urgent. The blue rank intermediate ultimate skill can only barely delay the holy beasts. I can only prioritize the blue rank ultimate skill that is slightly threatening to the holy beasts. Consumed special attribute points. Heaven Burning Purgatory Fire 23. 3 million points. Intermediate Heaven Path 29 points. Advanced Blue Rank Ultimate Skill. Heaven Burning Purgatory 2 times. Consumed special attribute points. In the end, Lin Shun had the Advanced Blue Rank Ultimate Skill 4 times, which was one of his most important trump cards for this trip. Lin Shun switched to Strengthening, and, as usual, he began to take turns strengthening. But this time, his luck was off the charts. He only consumed 41 million strengthening points to successfully strengthen Imperial Sky, plus 14, and Genesis Holy Scripture, plus 15. Lin Shun cultivated nonstop, refining Long Kingwo, Red Gold Vine, and a large number of Silver Holy Origin coins almost without stopping for a moment. On the east side of Rainbow Island. The harvest this time is really bountiful. There are 4 precious purple rank Apex Alchemy handprints. It's all thanks to the 2 Saint Beast Seniors. There are hundreds of odd crystal fragments, dozens of Apex cultivation techniques, 9 types of half-orange rank cultivation techniques, 10 types of sacred artifact forging scrolls, and over 100 rank 8 rare ores. A huge amount of wealth. There are also many Lost Peak rank 7 pills with complete medicinal effects. There are also a few rank 8 embryonic pills and rank 1 sacred pill recipes. There is even a rank 2 sacred pill scroll. When we return to the hall this time, I'm afraid we can exchange for a lot of contribution points. I'm afraid none of the elders expected us to have such a bountiful harvest. The geniuses of Sun Moon Hall were ecstatic under the night sky. Half-orange rank cultivation techniques were extremely valuable even in a rank 5 sect. They were definitely not common. A rank 5 sect guarding battle techniques or sect guarding mental cultivation techniques were the true orange rank. Below the orange rank, half-orange rank cultivation techniques were still the best. Just the 9 newly obtained half-orange rank cultivation techniques had indirectly earned more than 200 million silver sacred origin coins for Sun Moon Hall, not to mention the other rank 8 pill recipes, alchemy handprints, sacred artifact forging scrolls, and so on. Without the Saint Beast's presence, they wouldn't have been able to get so much even if they were strong. The only imperfection is that the rare half-orange tier pill refinement handprint was destroyed by that brat. Damn it, a genius from the Sun Moon Hall said unwillingly. Nangong Mia, who had a carefree look on his face, smiled and said, "It doesn't matter. When the last rainbow bridge appears, we will search for him together with the senior sacred beast." That's right. When we get rid of Lin Shun, his spiritual plant of destiny will be ours. I'm really looking forward to seeing how many secrets this guy has. I really want to kill the people from the Black Horse Club right now. The eyes of the Sun Moon Hall geniuses and the 100 Saints Gate flashed with murderous intent. They were still coveting Lin Chen's secrets. Only the 2 holy scorpions, standing in the void in the form of black-robed men, had a slightly solemn expression. Big brother, you should have felt it too, right? Yes, at least 2 saint beasts have come out of seclusion, and they seem to be filled with murderous intent. I don't know what's going on. The 2 of them looked at each other. The saint beasts had come out of seclusion, which meant that there might be changes in the upcoming competition. However, don't worry too much. With the 2 of us working together, there's almost no saint beast on this island that can take advantage of us. A night had passed. The next day at noon, a rainbow overpass, dazzling and dreamy like a river of stars, appeared out of nowhere. Rainbow Island began to boil once again, and this rainbow overpass had 9 colors. It was the most precious rainbow overpass. Chapter 1033. Nine-Color Rainbow Bridge. Oh my God, it's the legendary nine-color rainbow bridge that's rarely seen in 10,000 years. It's said that when the nine-color rainbow bridge appears, a holy treasure will be born. All the hidden geniuses around Rainbow Island were shocked. The nine-color rainbow bridge was the most precious rainbow bridge in history. There were many records of the birth of holy weapons, holy pills, low-grade odd crystals, and other supreme treasures. 500,000 years ago, there was a shocking genius who obtained a legendary orange-grade combat skill from the nine-color rainbow bridge. This caused that sect to rise from a peak 4th-grade sect to a 5th-grade sect 100,000 years later. If one traced back even further, there were even people who obtained the seed of a spirit plant on Rainbow Island and soared to the heavens. As long as the nine-color rainbow bridge appeared, a treasure would definitely be born. The nine-color rainbow bridge is no small matter. Let's go all out. This is enough for me to use all my trump cards. 100,000 years ago, the top genius, Ning Tianke, obtained a lost holy pill and advanced to the saint realm after consuming it. 50,000 years later, he rushed into the monster genius list. This nine-color rainbow bridge will have a holy fate. Damn it, if we don't fight now, when will we? All the hidden geniuses who were ranked within 10500 on the genius list moved out. Now is the time to fight for the opportunity. The nine-color rainbow bridge was something that could only be encountered by chance. Even if there was a holy beast blocking their way, they were willing to risk their lives. All the geniuses who could enter this ranking had a few trump cards. They weren't ordinary 5th tribulation battle emperors who couldn't resist a saint. On the suicide cliff, Lin Chen stepped on the air, and the girls in the heart-refining palace were shocked. The nine-color rainbow bridge, oh my God, we actually encountered it. Jiang Yun's eyes flashed. Junior sisters, this fate won't happen again. Let's fight and use all our life-saving tricks. Lin Chen exhaled, calming his agitated heart. His goal had almost changed. No matter what happens, my goal is to snatch the Nangong Ye's storage ring and orient Yao's dog life. This is our top priority. Lin Chen's eyes shone with a fierce light as he leaped into the air and charged towards the nine-colored rainbow bridge with the woman from the heart-refining palace. In the center of the rainbow bridge, the devastated blood plain. This time, the final Bifrost also happened to be in the blood plains. Ha ha ha! Good timing. The nine-colored rainbow bridge belongs to my Sun Moon Hall. Hurry up and come. 8th grade sacred artifact and orange grade cultivation technique. Nangongya opened his arms in high spirits and laughed arrogantly. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Streaks of light flashed across the mountain peak outside the plains. The super first-rate geniuses from all over the world had arrived. However, the two black-robed men were still there. The ferocious aura of an 8th-order holy beast suppressed the whole place. In the bloody plains, other than the people of the 100 Saints Gate and the Sun Moon Hall, there was no one and no ferocious beast. Boom! Suddenly, 2 streaks of light descended from the rainbow bridge. The geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall quickly received the 2 jade boxes with powerful sealing power. Light flowed, and the holy aura filled the sky. When the 2 geniuses continued to channel their battle force to unseal the jade boxes, they opened them. It was actually a holy pill and a scroll of first-grade holy pill recipes. A holy pill appearing for the first time. It's really good stuff. The nine-colored rainbow bridge, our Sun Moon Hall, is going to return with a full load this time. The 2 geniuses couldn't stop their ecstasy and handed the holy pill to the Nangong Ye. The super first-rate geniuses were tempted, but when they saw the ferocious aura of the 2 holy beasts, and then looked at the surrounding environment and geniuses, they forced themselves to calm down. Wait. At this time, they had to wait. All the super first-rate geniuses knew that at this time, whoever lost their cool and went up to snatch it first would be used as a stepping stone by others. It was a competition of patience and endurance. They wanted to see who could keep their cool more. However, with the huge treasure in front of them, the situation was bound to change. No one would really miss the 9-color rainbow bridge. It was just a matter of who lost their cool first. Whoosh! At this time, Lin Xun and the girls from the Heart Refining Palace also arrived. Ning Qingxian and Shunling Shuang came out of the peach blossom plant pouch and looked around. The situation was quite grim. Rumble. The rainbow phenomenon fell like a meteor shower, and 17 streams of light fell like meteorites. The geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall took action one after another. They were 17 types of 8th grade rare ores of extremely high quality. They were the size of a human body, transparent and dazzling. They were of excellent quality and had different attributes. Whoosh! Another 2 holy artifact forging scrolls appeared, and the geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall were ecstatic. Finally, when some geniuses couldn't help but want to take action, the Nangong Mia and Orient Yao stood up at the same time. Those who are not afraid of death, come forward. Even if you have a few tricks to get through the encirclement of the 2 holy bee seniors, do you have the strength to break through the encirclement of the 2 of us? The Nangong Mia flicked his fingernails casually, like a king in charge of the wind and clouds, and once again stunned the geniuses. Hee, this guy's really good at bluffing. Lin Chun smiled, and the light in his purple-gold eyes flickered. He smiled excitedly and said, "They're coming soon. Those guys are coming. The show is about to start. Damn it. I'm going to make the Sun Moon Hall's chrysanthemum explode later." Lin Chun's coquettish smile made Jiang Yun's hair stand on end. This Prince Lin Chun was more handsome than anyone when he wanted to be, but when he wanted to be bad, no one could compare to him. Roar! A roar tore apart the situation under the control of the Sun Moon Hall. The 2 black-robed men instantly looked serious and looked to the east. A golden-robed man stepped out of the blood plains. It was the 8th-stage holy beast, the primordial golden eagle. "You're here indeed. Damn it. Are you 2 scorpions supporting this bunch of brats?" The appearance and words of the golden-robed man puzzled the 2 holy scorpions. One of them cupped his fists and said, "Big brother eagle, what are you talking about? We're just repaying a favor." "Repaying a favor, my ass. Repaying a favor has allowed this bunch of brats to steal it from me?" The primordial golden eagle bared its fangs and scolded angrily. Its murderous aura was so strong that it seemed like it would start a fight at any moment. The geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall were confused. "What's going on? Steal it from you? What's going on?" Before the 2 Trigreen King Scorpions could finish their words, rumble. A burly figure walked over in the air. His body seemed to be able to cover the sky, and he seemed to have the power to shake the heavens with one punch. It was another holy beast, the Desolation Holy Ape. It was not over yet. Woo! A long roar shook the sky, and the air around it collapsed. All the geniuses outside the plains had to protect their eardrums with their battle chi. A fierce man in a blood-red robe floated in the air. Opposite him was a golden-haired man in a blue robe. He looked ferocious and intimidating. The people of the Sun Moon Hall and the 100 Saints Gate felt that something was wrong. A sense of uneasiness shrouded their hearts. Pung, pung, pung. The earth shook, and a majestic giant turtle crawled out. Every time it moved, it would cause the ground to crack and trees to collapse as it crashed into the plains. It seemed to have a majestic turtle shell on its back. Its aura was as heavy as 1,000 mountains, and its breath could create hurricanes. It was the oldest among all the holy beasts present. All the geniuses were shocked. Even the dark earth mystic holy turtle had come. Lin Chun rubbed his hands excitedly. "They're all here. Ha! Let's see how many of them will take the bait this time. The Sun Moon Hall will suffer even if they don't die this time." Chapter 1034. The scene was very tense, and even the air was filled with killing intent. This was an extremely rare scene. The immemorial golden eagle, the Empyrean holy shark, the blood demon wolf king, the Empyrean holy ape, and the earth netherworld mystical turtle were all gathered together. The Empyrean Holy Shark said with a fake smile. What's going on? I'll tell you what's going on with those two scorpions. Those two rascals stole from us and stole all our treasures. The Empyrean Holy Ape pointed at the Nangong Mia and Orient Yao and sneered in a muffled voice. They even said that they had the support of the two of you and that the Sun Moon Hall had booked the entire Rainbow Island, right? The Earth Netherworld mystical turtle said in a deep voice, "Give me back my things, and I'll let bygones be bygones. Otherwise, I'll attack them too." The faces of the geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall instantly turned pale, especially the Nangong Mia and Orient Yao. They looked at each other in shock and suspicion, thinking that the other party had violated the agreement and done something good. Everyone, there must be a misunderstanding. We brothers are just repaying the favor to the force behind them, and we've been with them recently. We've never seen any of them leave. That's right. Don't be used by them. There must be a conspiracy. Maybe they're using us to kill them. The two holy scorpions hurriedly said. There were so many holy beasts present that even the two of them would be in danger if they were besieged. F*CKU. The blood demon Wolf King cursed. Do you think I'm blind? I'm very sensitive to auras. It's them. Do you still want to deny it? Used by them? Didn't you say that you booked the entire Rainbow Island? Isn't that right? The Empyrean Holy Ape sneered. The primordial golden eagle scoffed. Regarding this sentence, I believe that any human genius present can prove that you have said this sentence. If you don't give us the item today and give us an explanation, this king will have to see what you two brothers are capable of after becoming saints. Brilliant golden light had already begun to condense in his palms. Like a blade, the wind and the blade moved about, and a murderous aura soared to the sky. The golden eagle was the fastest holy beast on Rainbow Island. He wasn't afraid of offending any holy beast. Nangong Mia and Orient Yao were sweating profusely. They did say that they were going to reserve the whole place, but they didn't steal anything from the holy beasts. Who the F*CK would be crazy enough to steal the property of a holy beast? Wasn't that the same as entering the latrine with a lantern? Even if he had the support of two holy beasts, he was not qualified to offend all the holy beasts on Rainbow Island. In fact, the wisdom of the holy beasts was not low. They had lived for such a long time and were not existences that could be easily controlled. However, when Lin Shun pretended to be the two of them, he almost repeated what he had said in the Sun Moon Hall. The most important thing was the transformation of the 1,000 illusion mask. As long as he didn't circulate his mental cultivation technique, the disguise was flawless. All the holy beasts believed in their own judgment and were certain that it was the two of them who had done it. Just as the two holy scorpions hurriedly continued to explain, a young figure rushed out. Wow, Senior Holy Beast, you are finally here. Everyone's eyes were focused on this handsome young man. The young man said with a miserable expression, I once heard the plan of the two of them to rob the senior holy beasts. They even said that they had the support of the two holy scorpions this time, and that they wanted to suppress all the holy beasts to eat shit and call them daddy. They also said that after robbing the holy beasts, they would reserve all the treasures on the Rainbow Bridge and rob us humans. The holy beast's eyebrows twitched wildly. The young man was filled with righteous indignation and shouted with gritted teeth. When I found out about this plan, I wanted to tell everyone first, but they found out first. I scrambled out and almost lost my life. Senior holy beasts, think about it. You took your wife, slept soundly, and cultivated. You ate hot pot and sang songs, but suddenly you were robbed by the Sun Moon Hall. That's why the people of the Sun Moon Hall must be exterminated. Days without the Sun Moon Hall are good days. This junior would rather not have the treasures on the Rainbow Bridge. Please uphold justice, seniors. It will be best if you beat them up. The young man's generous speech completely ignited the holy beast's anger toward the Sun Moon Hall. All right, now that we have the witnesses, it seems that there is nothing more to say. Let's kill them first and then take back our treasures. The holy beast's gazes shifted to the Orient Yao and the Nangong Mia. The pressure on everyone suddenly increased, and the two black-robed men immediately protected the geniuses. Damn it, how could this be? Something is wrong. Something is definitely wrong. Damn it, who the hell is behind this? The Nangong Mia broke out in cold sweat, and all the geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall hugged each other. They didn't even have time to snatch the treasures from the Rainbow Bridge. The situation instantly turned from an absolute advantage to an absolute disadvantage. Suddenly, the pupils of the Orient Yao and the Nangong Mia trembled. They clearly saw that the young man in white who had shown up to speak was actually winking at them with a smirk. Damn it, could it be? The answer that the Orient Yao and the Nangong Mia were about to say, but before they could open their mouths, the two holy beasts attacked. The primordial golden eagle and the apocalyptic holy ape immediately launched their strongest attacks. Their fists and palms shook the space, and golden light flashed wildly. The golden sabers cut the air into threads, and it was extremely terrifying. Bam! Bam! The two black-robed men swept out two beams of holy light and neutralized the attacks of the two holy beasts. However, what followed was an even fiercer attack from the Empyrean Holy Shark and the blood-demonic Wolf King. Rumble! A terrifying battle instantly broke out. The entire blood plains was torn apart, and the sky and earth lost their color. The wind and clouds were torn apart and scattered across the sky. All the geniuses were ecstatic. They were fighting. All of them were fighting. The scene that they wanted to see the most had happened. Whoosh! A few more beams of light fell, and supreme-grade rare treasures continued to appear. Finally, some of the geniuses could not hold back and attacked quickly. All of them used their divine powers. They either consumed pills, used embryonic sacred weapons, or activated their secret techniques. Their movement techniques increased tremendously, and their speed was extremely fast. Shall we act as well? Prince Lin Shun, what about you? Jiang Yun turned to Lin Shun. He shook his head and said with a smile, You guys make your own choice. My target is the Nangong Mia and the rest. I'll kill them first, then take the treasures. Rumble. At this moment, a beam of rainbow light shone brightly and fell from the nine-colored rainbow. Its holy aura was unparalleled. It was a completed holy artifact. All the geniuses' expressions changed, and they were overjoyed. Their speed increased by 30%. Everyone tried their best to avoid the area where the holy beasts were fighting and started to crazily snatch the treasures. Everyone's eyes were bloodshot. Master, how long do we have to wait? Shunling Shuang said reluctantly when she saw that the holy artifact had appeared. She seemed to be very interested in snatching treasures. Ling Shuang, have you forgotten what I've taught you? The more important the opportunity is, the calmer you must be. The calmer you are, the more likely you are to get the most important treasures. Lin Shin smiled and ruffled her hair. Jiang Yin was shocked. She looked at the young man's side profile. Lin Shun did not even look at the nine-colored rainbow bridge from the beginning to the end. He did not even look at the holy artifact that had appeared. His gaze was fixed on Nangong Mia and the rest. What a strong and tenacious heart. Even I was tempted just now. The value of a completed holy artifact is not something that an embryonic sacred artifact can compare to. Even so, he still stood there and did not have any intention to move. He is too strong. How old is he? What kind of experience did he have to go through to have such a strong state of mind? Jiang Yun's heart trembled slightly. Her impression of Lin Shun rose to an unprecedented height. This young man's temperament is too scary. Chapter 1035. The appearance of a saint artifact caused the geniuses to fight each other fiercely. The half-orange level techniques were executed one after another like a storm, crazily colliding with each other in the sky above the blood plane, tearing out streaks of earth-shattering battle aura storms. The battle attracted even more geniuses. The remaining 3,000 geniuses also began to approach the nine-colored rainbow bridge. When they realized that the Sun Moon Hall and the 100 Saints Gate were under siege, they couldn't help but be overjoyed. Then, Even more geniuses began to bypass the battle area of the Saint Beasts and join the battle. However, as if it was the prelude to a party, a faint ray of light emitting dim starlight fell from the nine-colored rainbow bridge after more than a dozen eighth-grade rarors fell. Everyone was shocked, and when they looked over, they sucked in a breath of cold air. The starlight was wrapped in a transparent, crystal-like sealing energy shield. Inside the energy shield was a seed. There was no mistake. There was only one possibility for a seed to fall from the nine-colored rainbow bridge. The seed of a plant of providence. It was the foundation of a sect that had been established for 10,000 years. The hard and fast conditions for a second-grade sect in the sacred boundary were the number of saints and the plant of providence. It was a treasure that even saints would fight for. With a plant of providence, even if they didn't establish a sect, the wealth of a saint would skyrocket. Junior brothers, it's time to make a name for ourselves. Bring the plant of providence back, and we'll be the #1 contributors to the sect. This contribution is more than enough to cultivate the sect's ultimate battle technique. Obtaining the plant of providence means obtaining the sect's only orange-grade technique. Kill. Frenzied roars and murderous intents surged like dragons and collided with each other crazily. The scene was spectacular. The sky was flashing with colorful battle aura, and a large number of afterimages crisscrossed. Hundreds of superclass geniuses were fighting against each other. Over 1,000 top geniuses were fighting in a chaotic battle. This was a truly crazy, chaotic battle. At this stage, there were already 8th-grade saint artifacts, plant of providence seeds, 8th-grade sacred pills, and other treasures that were enough to destroy anyone's rationality. However, Zhang Yun and the girls from the heart-refining palace stared at Lin Chun as if they had seen a ghost. He actually didn't plan to make a move. In fact, his eyes were fixed on the chaotic battle between the sacred beasts, and he did not even look at the seed of the spiritual plant of destiny. Is Prince Lin Chun really human? He's not even tempted by the seed of the spirit plant of destiny. He has 3 spiritual plants of destiny, so he should know the value of this thing very well. Could it be that his heart is strong enough to obliterate his own emotions and desires? Or is it that even the seeds of the plant of providence are not worthy of his attention? All the girls were shocked and sighed from the bottom of their hearts. He was like a cheetah lurking in the dark, accumulating power, spying, and waiting. Wait for the moment when the prey is exhausted, then attack with the most ferocious force. It wasn't that Lin Chun didn't care about these treasures. No one would complain about the number of cultivation resources. It wasn't that Lin Chun's heart was strong enough to erase his emotions and desires. But he knew that the decision wasn't up to him. What he needed most was the large number of odd crystal fragments that the Sun Moon Hall obtained some time ago. As long as he took down the Nangong Ye, he would have a large number of killing skills in his hands, and he would be able to snatch everything that appeared on the 9-color rainbow bridge. The one who really bought the place was him. So no matter what treasure appeared, Lin Chun firmly believed that as long as he got a large number of odd crystal fragments, these things wouldn't be able to escape and would all be his. Before having a large number of killing skills, any attempt to snatch treasures would be futile. As long as I snatch the odd crystal fragments collected by the Sun Moon Hall and create a large number of killing skills, even the sacred beasts won't be able to stop me. Before that, even if a F*King orange grade combat skill appears, I won't snatch it. Lin Chun's eyes flashed with a fierce light that was ready to cut off all means of retreat. While all the geniuses rushed into the battle circle to snatch the treasures of the 9-color rainbow bridge, the sacred beast battle circle was in full swing. The sacred beasts vented all their anger and killing intent from searching for the Nangong Ye and Orient Yao. No matter how the Sun Moon Hall explained, they wouldn't listen. However, the 5 sacred beasts were on guard against each other, and their combat power was limited. The cooperation between the 2 sacred scorpions was flawless. So even if it was 5 against 2, the 3 green king scorpions that revealed their true forms were able to increase their combat power. In addition, the various life-saving trump cards of the Sun Moon Hall and the 100 Saints Gate were constantly used. There was the 100 treasures sacred gourd that was good at defense. There was the dark shuttle that was good at movement. There was the 8-sided exquisite mirror that was good at reflecting attacks. They were all life-saving sacred weapons. With the strength of the geniuses, they could barely use a little power and temporarily withstand the attacks of the 5 sacred beasts. But in the chaotic sacred beasts battle circle, something strange happened. That was the earth, underworld, mystical, sacred tortoise. It suddenly abandoned the battle and retreated to the side with a thoughtful look in its old eyes. What's wrong? Is this really their goal? Even if they couldn't foresee the birth of the 9-colored rainbow bridge, after stealing all the holy beasts, they would either go into hiding or strike first to gain the upper hand, joining forces with the 2 scorpions to ambush us one after another. No matter what choice they made, it wouldn't have resulted in the current situation. Now that the 9-colored rainbow bridge has appeared, they could have returned all the sacred beast belongings. With the help of the 2 scorpions, they could still be the biggest winner. Why didn't they do that? What exactly went wrong? No matter how intelligent the sacred beasts were, they were still evolved. The ferocity and wildness in their bones often took precedence over their rationality. This led them to not doubt their own perception and thinking about the current situation at all. Instead, they thought that they had the upper hand and wanted to defeat the other party first. Only the Earth Netherworld sacred turtle was a rare exception. It was the oldest sacred beast, and its ferocity and wildness were not as violent as the other sacred beasts. It was the calmest one. It noticed that something was wrong. No matter what choice they made, the Sun Moon Hall shouldn't have resulted in the current situation. However, this was a complete contradiction. If it wasn't them, then who were the 2 people that appeared that day? Their aura and appearance were exactly the same, and even the sacred beast was fooled. No, although the 2 humans that appeared that day were the same as them, they had mastered a secret technique to travel through the void and easily got rid of the sacred beast's pursuit. But they didn't use it now. With a flash of light, the sacred turtle's head shook. I can't rule out the possibility that there's a limit to that move, but if there's a limit, this kind of life-saving trump card shouldn't be used casually. Have I been fooled? The moment the Earth Netherworld sacred turtle realized the seriousness of the problem, an unforeseen event occurred. The 2 sacred scorpions attacked with all their strength, creating a gap for the geniuses of the 100 Saints Gate and the Sun Moon Hall, allowing the Nangong Mia and the others to escape from the battle with the sacred beasts. We finally escaped. Retreat. The 2 seniors can't hold on for too long. Senior brother, that's the seed of the spiritual plant of fate. Do you have a life to take it? Many of the geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall and the 100 Saints Gate retreated quickly. You want to leave? Ugly humans, we won't let you go so easily. The 4 sacred beasts roared violently and were about to chase after them. Whoosh! The 2 jade king scorpions swept their scorpion tails and shook off the 2 sacred beasts. Then they stabbed their poisonous stingers, and the primordial golden eagle and the Empyrean sacred ape were forced back. Finally, the 42 geniuses of the 100 Saints Gate and the Sun Moon Hall had all escaped. Rumble. At this moment, Lin Chun suddenly made his move. Like a cheetah that had accumulated its strength to the extreme, he suddenly pounced on his prey. Chapter 1036. The moment before they took action, all the clones frantically consumed various peak 7th rank pills. There was the Violet Charm Flowing Light pill, the Black Explosion pill, the 5 Elements pill, the Heavenly Chief 5 Elements pill, the 10,000 Dragons pill, and so on. The clones didn't have to worry about any side effects at all. Lin Chun went all out in an instant. The Holy Phoenix wings streaked across the sky, and the white light dragon shadow attacked like a hidden dragon. Lin Chun and all the clones unleashed their 8 transformations and ultimate moment. Shunling Shuang was the first to react and catch up with Lin Chun. Then, Ning Qing Xian charged into the battlefield like an arrow piercing through the clouds. When the sudden killing intent enveloped Nangong Mia, his expression changed drastically. Mirror Moon Imperial God. Sword Fury Sky. The sword and saber transformed into moonlight that illuminated the world. The orange sword aura slashed at the Sun Moon Hall and the 100 Saints Gate. One was water and one was fire, and the killing intent was extremely intense. Black Horse Club? Defend. The moment Nangong Mia and Orient Yao lost their voices, the geniuses from the two fifth-rank sects immediately reacted. They adjusted their postures and cast out defensive battle skills or counterattack skills. Their battle chi turned into huge turtles, huge blue whales, battle chi crimson armors, energy shields, 5-colored ancient mirrors, and so on. In a split second, they had formed the strongest defense. Boom! The moonlight slash and the sword aura burning with anger split into 5, and their power increased exponentially. Then, 5 sky blue light pillars of spiritual annihilation and 5 golden spear auras pierced through like dragons. What was even more terrifying was the deadly sword auras that appeared out of nowhere. They were green with a tinge of blue, and blue with a flash of purple. The 4 sword auras were divided into 20, and the 20 sword auras carried a destructive killing intent and different types of battle auras as they slashed down furiously. Host has activated passive talent, Tier X2. Bang, bang, bang. The flying daggers slashed at the energy shield, and the moonlight slash tore apart the battle chi red armor. The sword rainbow slashed apart the blue battle chi whale, while the golden rainbow pierced through the battle chi black tortoise, shattering the defenses of the two sects in an instant. The spiritual annihilation light beam caused many geniuses to vomit blood. Their faces turned pale, and their minds were in chaos. This time, the 100 Saints Gate and the Sun Moon Hall were barely able to withstand such an attack. The 30% penetrative power of the attack shocked Nangong Mia and Orient Yao. 4 geniuses from the 100 Saints Gate were injured, and 2 geniuses from the Sun Moon Hall were knocked unconscious. There was also a genius whose life-saving defensive trump card was torn apart, dying under the lingering effects of the moonlight slash, being split into 2 halves. Lin Shun, how dare you kill a member of my Sun Moon Hall? Nangong Mia was furious and shocked. Dongfang Yao was horrified. His strength was actually strong to such an extent. What he couldn't accept was that not only Lin Shun, but the entire Black Horse Club had undergone a qualitative transformation. Compared to the previous battle, Lin Shin's elemental attributes had more than doubled, not to mention a double breakthrough in pure strength and cultivation. In addition, with the help of the Lost Pills and Ning Qingxuan's techniques, each of Lin Shin's clones had the ability to fight against geniuses like Orient Yao. After activating the Orange Grade talent, Instant Light Clone, they instantly suppressed the 2 sects. Roar! The Dragon Emperor transformed into his human form to assist in the battle. He took turns to use his 3 bloodline abilities, and together with Ning Qingxian, they killed a few geniuses without warning. Shenling Shuang was even more irresistible. She killed her way into the center of the geniuses alone, as if she was entering a no-man's land. No genius was a match for her punch. Even super geniuses couldn't stop her. She could already fight against Orient Yao with her 4th tribulation cultivation. Even a Nangong Mia might not be her match with her 5th tribulation cultivation. The female disciples of the Heart Refining Palace had also arrived. They had swallowed pills, and their combat power had soared temporarily. They finally used the trump cards that they had been hiding for a long time. They formed a large formation, and with Sun Yuerer as the center, they charged into the battlefield. The amazing thing was that they didn't fight for the treasures. Instead, they helped Lin Shun and the others. The whole sky instantly became a chaotic mess. Lin Shun and the others forced the 2 sects to use their sage artifacts, such as the 8-sided mirror and the 100 treasures holy gourd, to defend themselves. Use the dark shuttle to escape. The Nangong Mia shouted anxiously. One of the geniuses took out a dark red shuttle and activated it with his blood essence. A dark red giant ship that was hundreds of feet long appeared. The geniuses retreated into the giant ship, trying to escape with a spatial sage artifact. Slow rune. Lin Chen sneered. In an instant, 200 points of high-grade rune energy were used to cast a slow rune, which froze the giant ship in midair. His doppelganger drew his sword and drew his bow angrily. Sabers and swords flashed, and arrows soared into the sky. Bang! 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 Numerous attacks rained down on the giant ship, but they were all blocked by 8 different Saint Artifact ancient mirrors. Attack together! Jiang Yun led the girls from the heart-refining palace to attack together. Ning Qingxian chanted an incantation, and 2 pure green water droplets shot out from her slender fingers. They merged with Lin Shun and Shun Lingshuang's bodies, increasing their strength greatly. Shun Lingshuang punched the cabin. The attacks finally broke through the defense of the octagonal exquisite mirror and forced the dark crossing shuttle to retreat. He actually froze the space around him. His secret technique can reach this level. The Nangong Mie's eyes trembled in fear. He stood at the front of the cabin and saw Lin Shun, who was flapping his purple-red wings, jump up. Lin Shun held the spear above his head with both hands and swung it in a half-moon arc-clang. Bang! Lin Shun displayed his Imperial Sky Spear technique to the extreme and struck the dark crossing shuttle with his spear. 5 streaks of golden light shot out from the dark crossing shuttle, and the shuttle was forced back by Lin Chen's spear. Then, the dark red giant ship shrank rapidly. The super genius with the dark shuttle suddenly vomited blood. It was not that the sage artifact was not good enough, but that he had overused it. He had already used all his strength to barely control the sage artifact when he was fighting with the sage beasts. He had no energy left to do so now. Damn it, they will suffer heavy casualties if this continues. The 2 Jade King Scorpions wanted to break out, but the 4 sage beasts suddenly surrounded them and attacked them one after another. Those humans are killing each other. Don't let them go over to help. Hey, those little bastards are about to die. We will take back the storage rings after they are dead. The sage beasts had the same thought as they frantically blocked the 2 Jade King Scorpions. Only the Earth Netherworld Mystic Saint Turtle was paying close attention to the battle between Lin Shun and the others. When the Dark Shuttle could no longer be used, the group was only left with their last sage artifact, the 100 Treasures Holy Gourd. Lin Shun, his clones, and the girls from the heart-refining palace attacked them ferociously. They had no intention of letting them go at all. The clones either attacked from behind with flying daggers or attacked from the front and back with mental attacks. The geniuses from the 100 Saints Gate and the Sun Moon Hall had no chance to escape at all. Even the Orient Yao and the Nangong Mie were caught in a tough battle. Lin Chen attacked the Nangong Mie all the way. He was completely different from the previous situation where he would vomit blood after every attack. He could now fight him head-on. He is only at the 4th tribulation level, and he can fight me? This kid's potential is far greater than mine. I hate that I didn't kill him immediately last time. Just as the Nangong Mie was feeling regretful, the avatar suddenly changed. Boom! What no one expected was that a dazzling orange meteor that seemed to light up the entire world fell from the 9-color rainbow bridge. At the center of the light was a cultivation technique scroll. Its energy fluctuation and mysterious ripple seal were far beyond that of a half-orange grade cultivation technique. All the geniuses who were still fighting took a deep breath. Orange grade cultivation technique. Chapter 1037. The sudden flash of orange light shattered everyone's understanding and expectations. While everyone was still fighting for the sacred artifacts, sacred pills, and even the plant of Providence's seeds, a stream of light appeared out of nowhere. An orange-grade technique had arrived. An orange-grade technique is here. Oh my God, I can't believe I've encountered one in my lifetime. How many sages can't even get their hands on an orange-grade technique in their lifetime? Now, I've encountered one. Ha ha! Kill! Whoever stand in my way will die. All the geniuses were like frenzied beasts, and the chaotic battle was getting more and more intense. Even the geniuses who were able to remain calm in the face of the plant of Providence's seeds had all made their move. The girls from the heart-refining palace could not help but stop attacking, giving the geniuses from the Sun Moon Hall a chance to catch their breaths. Their eyes were wide open, and their breaths were trembling slightly. Combat techniques were divided into yellow, green, cyan, blue, purple, and orange. Orange-grade techniques represented the pinnacle. They truly had the power to destroy a realm and a part of the world. An orange-grade technique has appeared. Jiang Yun gritted her teeth and fell into a dilemma. An orange-grade technique has appeared the 9-colored rainbow bridge this time. Although we can't fight for it, Lin Shun and the others will definitely make a move. At least most of the people from the Sun Moon Hall are still alive, and there's still a chance for us to make a comeback. Just as Nangong Ye was about to retreat with everyone else, a gunshot caught him off guard, causing him to bleed profusely. The Nangong Ye's hands were burning with extreme sun-moon battle aura, and he subconsciously struck out with his palm. After being repelled by the sharp spear, he raised his head with disbelief on his face. Whoosh! Lin Shan flapped his holy phoenix wings, and he was like a raging sea. When he pulled the spear was like a torrential downpour, and he did not give the Nangong Ye a chance to catch his breath at all. What kind of joke is this? The Nangong Ye's hair stood on end. The orange meteor that shocked all the geniuses was just a few hundred miles behind Lin Shun, but he didn't waver. Lin Shan's eyes didn't waver in the slightest. His murderous aura was coming straight at him. His sharp spear technique did not change in the slightest because of the appearance of an orange tear technique. Orient Yao, who was wielding the colored glaze sacred sword, sucked in a breath of cold air. Many geniuses felt their scalps go numb. Even the Black Horse Club was the same. None of them had paused. Even when the orange-grade combat skill was revealed, their attacks were still fierce and even seemed to be getting more and more intense. Everyone's first reaction was that he was crazy. The people of the Black Horse Club were all crazy. Don't tell me you don't even want an orange tier cultivation method? With your strength and lineup, Crooked has a chance to obtain the orange tier cultivation technique. Why? Could it be that killing the people of the Sun Moon Hall and the 100 Saints Gate is more important than obtaining the orange tier technique? It's an orange rank combat skill that symbolizes the pinnacle of cultivation techniques. Could it be that it doesn't even cause a ripple in your heart? Nangong Ye's attacks slowed down. To be more precise, it was his fear. For the first time in his life, Nangong Ye felt fear towards someone with a lower cultivation base than him. He was terrified. Among the chaotic afterimages, he vaguely saw a pair of eyes. It was a pair of deep, dark eyes that occasionally flashed with a golden light. It was staring at him from the beginning. He was like a wolf in the night, like a cheetah biting its target. It was as if he would not let go until his last breath. If he let his guard down for even a moment, he might be devoured by this monster. Even Jiang Yun, who was his companion, felt a lingering fear towards the courage of the people of the Black Horse Club. These people were really freaking monsters. Even when an orange tier technique was revealed, no one was moved by it. They did not even bat an eyelid. After a long battle, the geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall were the first to break down. Lin Shun and his doppelgangers did not hold back and used the instant light split shadow to attack, triggering the lacerate talent one after another. Whenever the lacerate talent was triggered, coupled with the 30% piercing power, a genius would die for every lacerate talent. Lin Shun, I admit defeat. I surrender. You win. Don't kill the people of the Sun Moon Hall anymore. Nangong Ye let out a heart-wrenching cry of agony. He was covered in blood from Lin Chen's spear art. No matter how many pills he took, he could not keep up with the spread of his injuries. He had already used up his sacred Sun Moon shield. In addition, 10 geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall had already died. He really had no more life-saving moves left. If the battle continued, he might really be exhausted to death by Lin Shun. Lin Shun waved his red spear with both hands, thrusting out streaks of golden energy and crushing Nangong Mie's defense. Lin Shun sneered. Beg for mercy and admit defeat? Do you think I'm a 3-year-old kid? If it weren't for the siege of these sacred beasts, the first person your Sun Moon Hall would look for after robbing Bifrost would be me, Lin Shun, right? By then, the one who would die would be me, and you still want to talk to me about surrendering? I'll King surrender. Die. Lin Shin's talent points had been rapidly depleting after using the ultimate restoration skill. After using all his skills, the Royal God Spear penetrated Nangong Mie's defense and pierced one of his arms. Coincidentally, Nangong Mie's storage ring was in that arm. Lin Shin stretched out his hand and unleashed his Dark Calamity battle aura, sucked the arm over, and took the storage ring. Before he could check the storage ring, Nangong Mie shouted at the top of his lungs. Lin Shun, how dare you humiliate me like this? I'll drag you down with me, even if I die. Rumble. Knowing that Lin Shun would not let him go, Nangong Mie, who had no chance of survival, chose the most extreme path. He unleashed all his battle aura. His battle aura fate wheel and 4th grade holy bloodline exploded in an instant. The heart-refining palace and Shun Lingshuang immediately retreated. Oh no, Nangong Mie is going to self-destruct. Retreat. Orient Yao, who was closest to Nangong Mie, was stunned. Just as he was about to pull his junior brothers and sisters away, Zhun Dang's doppelganger punched him with the life and death ultimate force and sent him flying toward Nangong Mie. Zhun Dang's doppelgangers put away their weapons and fought with their bare hands, trying their best to stall the geniuses from the 100 Saints Gate and Sun Moon Hall. Damn it, are you guys crazy? CK. Don't you want to live anymore? While the geniuses cried out in shock, Nangong Mie was like a reversed sun and moon, instantly exploding. The terrifying sun and moon battle chi formed an energy explosion of 2 extremes, enveloping most of the geniuses from the 2 families. The moment the energy storm was about to reach Lin Shun, he turned into a beam of light and activated his super-dimensional teleportation talent, jumping through space in an instant. The pupils of the Earth netherworld mystic Saint Turtle trembled. This move? Rumble. The Sunflame battle aura and the Moonlight battle aura exploded in 2 different directions. Most of the geniuses from the 2 families were caught in the explosion. Unless they had a holy weapon as their trump card, they would have a very low chance of surviving. Lin Shin saw that the number of attribute light balls in the storm was increasing and geniuses were dying one after another. His doppelganger was also killed, and the 1,000 Illusions mask automatically returned to the system space. However, it was already a great deal to be able to kill so many geniuses with him. The self-destruction of Nangong Mie, who had a 4th grade saint bloodline, was completely different from that of an ordinary 5th Tribulation Battle Emperor. Suddenly, Lin Shin didn't tear the mental seal on the storage ring. Instead, he formed a hand seal, and a terrifying mental energy of annihilation gushed out from between his eyebrows. You want to escape using your spiritual consciousness form after self-detonating? Take my annihilation. Chapter 1038. Lin Shin sneered. He changed his hand seal, and a blue beam of light shot out from between his eyebrows and hit the top of the energy storm. No! The blue beam of light shone, and the screams disappeared under the beam of light. A few wisps of illusory, spiritual bodies disappeared, leaving behind a large number of light balls floating in the air. In addition, there were 4 orange crystal treasure chests floating in the air. Sovereign's Descent Energy Accumulation, 950,000, 400,000, 1,200,000 points. The system screen popped up. Lin Shun had activated the Sovereign's Descent talent on the first day. He entered the Rainbow Island and broke out of the encirclement of the Man-U geniuses. After so many days of accumulation, the energy accumulated by the Sovereign's Descent talent had reached a terrifying number. Whoosh. A large amount of golden light exploded above Lin Chen's head, and his ranking on the genius list instantly rose to 10088, just like the Nangong Nye. The spiritual seals in the Nangong Nye's 2 storage rings were automatically removed, and the items inside could be checked at will. When a moonlight sunfire storm gradually disappeared, there were only 7 people left. The remaining geniuses were all on the verge of death. Orient Yao was badly mutilated, as if he had shed a layer of skin, revealing only his bones. Including the severely injured geniuses and those who were lucky enough to escape quickly, there were 9 people left in the Sun Moon Hall and 4 geniuses from the 100 Saints Gate. The 9 Tribulations starlight condensed, and Lin Shun was about to use the 9 Tribulations starlight again when a terrifying murderous intent suddenly appeared behind Lin Shun. "Be careful," Jiang Yun exclaimed, and Ning Qingxian gritted her teeth and rushed behind Lin Shun. Boom! A force as heavy as 1,000 caddies and 10,000 mountains pressed down on Lin Shun, suppressing him completely. The sound of bones cracking could be heard from all over his body. A huge turtle claw that was more than 100 feet long slashed down, and it was extremely heavy and powerful, trying to tear Lin Shun apart. It was a holy beast, the strongest attack of the Earth Netherworld mystic holy turtle. Everyone had witnessed this moment, but they couldn't react in time. However, there seemed to be one exception. A pink dress fluttered in the wind, and a faint divine light lingered between her brows. She was a tall, slender, and charming woman, like a sonorous rose blooming on the battlefield. The woman had already rushed to Lin Chen's side. She clenched her fist and slightly shook it. Her snow-white arm was burning with surging fire calamity battle chi, which was swimming in her slender fingers like a dragon. Then, she punched toward the sky. The woman was facing the Earth Netherworld mystic holy turtle head-on. TSK. Bang! Terrifying shock waves suddenly twisted, and a mushroom cloud exploded between the claw and the punch. As the shock waves swept across, the earth veins in the plains were torn apart, crumbling like tofu. Both sides were retreating. The Earth Netherworld mystic holy turtle was actually pushed back. This scene attracted the attention of the holy beast circle. Crack! Crack! The sound of bones cracking came from the charming woman's snow-white arm, and blood flowed out of her cherry lips. The pressure suddenly decreased, and Lin Chen's body flashed and caught the woman. Before he could say anything, a pink light flashed, and she became smaller. Ling Shuang, it's you? Lin Chen looked at the little girl in his arms, who was vomiting blood, and was dumbfounded. Why did this girl look like she had grown 10 years older? What was even more ridiculous was that she had actually pushed back the holy beast with one punch. Lin Chen knew the difference between the Battle Emperor realm and the Saint realm very well. The power of that punch had definitely surpassed the Battle Emperor realm. Little girl, how did you do that? Are you okay? Lin Chen hurriedly asked with concern. He sent a wisp of battle chi into Shun Lingshuang's body and quickly retreated. There's actually such a strange human. The Earth Netherworld mystic holy turtle looked at Shun Lingshuang in surprise. I don't know. I became like this after activating my bloodline. It seems that when I activate my bloodline, I don't have the same sense of crisis when facing a Saint Realm expert, Shinling Shuang said with a puzzled face. Lin Chen was shocked. It must be because he had activated this girl's bloodline in advance. Otherwise, even he couldn't do it. How could a 5th Tribulation Battle Emperor not die after crossing the gap of the Saint Realm? After making Shan Lingshuang swallow a few long Qingguo pills and making sure that she was fine, Lin Shun said seriously, "You can't fight anymore. Leave it to Master." Human, that day, was it you who disguised as 2 humans and sneaked into my nest? The Earth Netherworld mystic holy turtle roared and questioned. All the geniuses and even the Saint Beasts were shocked. The space travel secret technique you used just now was the same technique used by the thief who sneaked into this old master's lair that day. This old master will not be mistaken. If you don't confess honestly, don't even think about leaving here alive today." His words caused a huge commotion. The Saint Turtle's words caused the holy beasts to stop fighting. What did that old ghost say just now? That there was someone else who sneaked into his nest? Speaking of which, when that kid dodged the explosion of the human thief, he didn't use a human's movement technique. It was more like he was traveling through the void. Damn it, it's the kid who stole my 8th level vicious beast core. The Empyrean Saint Shark was filled with suspicion and ferocity. All the Saint Beasts fixed their eyes on Lin Shun. The remaining geniuses of the Sun Moon Hall and the 100 Saints Gate were shocked as they quickly retreated. The Orient Yao was in disbelief. Are you kidding me? Did he summon all these Saint Beasts? Some of the injured geniuses who had withdrawn from the battle were stunned when they heard this news. No way! These Saint Beasts were summoned by the Black Horse Club? The Saint Turtle has lived for many years. What's said is not baseless. Things might not be as simple as we think. Those injured geniuses were also puzzled. Why hadn't Lin Shun participated in any of the battles for the treasures of the Rainbow Bridge up until now? Boom! Murderous aura soared to the sky. 2 streams of murderous aura that seemed to have materialized surrounded Lin Shun. 2 gigantic green scorpions that were several thousand feet in size surrounded Lin Shun and Li Wuyo. Their venomous hooks hung high in the air, and their bodies flickered like jade. Kid, you killed the descendant of my benefactor. Are you ready to pay with your life? The women of the heart-refining palace were anxious. Senior sister, what should we do? Don't act rashly. The battle between the Saint Beasts is no longer a battle we can participate in. Jiang Yun's heart was heavy to the extreme. What kind of killer move did Prince Lin Shun have that could withstand the wrath of the Saint Beast present? Under the premise of being besieged from all sides, Lin Shun suddenly laughed out loud. Ha ha! Awesome, awesome. With the 100 Saints Gate and Sun Moon Hall's employees, my plan has come to a perfect conclusion. Very good. The Black Horse Club is the next one to book this place. Lin Shin's laughter stunned all the geniuses. Even the Saint Beasts felt that something was amiss. He could still laugh in this situation. The corners of the Orient Yao and the others' mouths twitched when they heard the words employees. Lin Shun surveyed his surroundings with a satisfied look on his face as he strolled leisurely in the void. Facing the complicated gazes from the crowd, Lin Shun grinned, his arrogance overflowing. That day, the Black Horse Club indeed stole all the Saint Beast belongings. However, there's no reason for me to spit out what I've taken. I hereby announce that it's time for the Black Horse Club to rob. Men stand on the left, women on the right. The Saint Beasts will return to their respective homes. Those who don't want to leave, I'll personally beat them until they leave. Chapter 1039. Why was Lin Che laughing when he was surrounded? Was it an epileptic fit or an impulsive loss of rationality? No, it was a success of betting everything on one throw. There were more than 500-odd crystal fragments in Nangong Mie's storage ring. He made the right bet. Their loot from the Rainbow Bridge was all in Nangong Mie's storage ring. There was an uproar in Blood Plain. It was really him who did it, and he even admitted to it. Before everyone could react, Lin Shun raised his finger and smiled. Happy New Year! Snap! He snapped his fingers. Host has activated blue rank, advanced sure kill, burning purgatory twice. Targets available. 8. Beginning to lock onto the nearest enemy to the host. Boom! A sea of hellfire instantly engulfed all the holy beasts present like a raging sea of flames. Primordial Golden Eagle, Empyrean Sacred Ape, Empyrean Sacred Shark, Earth Abyss Sacred Turtle, Blood Demon Wolf King, and 2 Sacred Scorpions. Rolling hellfire exploded above the sacred beasts' heads, and the 7 sacred beasts felt a sense of crisis. And the 8th target happened to be Orient Yao. What's that? Something's not right. It feels like a calamity. The sacred beasts were horrified and quickly released their sacred chi to defend themselves. Dongfang Yao even felt a fatal murderous intent sealing him. With a boom, tens of thousands of hellfire dragons ignited in the sea of hellfire and burned all the sacred beast defenses. Their sacred chi was being burned and melted at a speed visible to the naked eye. They couldn't escape at all and could only resist by force. Roar! How can this king's sacred body not be able to resist this flame? What kind of fire is this? Damn it, what a strange thing. Even this king's speed can't shake it off. The sacred beasts were roasted by the sure kill skill, burning purgatory, and revealed their true forms. They stood in the void and even rolled around continuously. The terrifyingly high temperature instantly ignited the blood plains into a prairie fire. Many geniuses who had gone berserk from killing immediately recovered from this scene and retreated in shock, seeing the saint beasts rolling in the air and the immemorial golden eagle, which was famous for its speed, unable to shake off the strange purgatory flames sea. The geniuses looked at Lin Shun in disbelief. This was done by the Black Horse Club? It's too terrifying. These powerful saint beasts don't even seem to be able to dodge the attacks. Lin Shun released the Dragon Emperor and took away the elemental light ball. He hugged his disciple and walked calmly in the void, the corners of his mouth rising crazily. Shunling Shuang's gem-like eyes sparkled as she stared at her master with eyes full of admiration. Master is so handsome. I also want to work hard to become someone like Master. Consumed 6 intermediate heaven path points, 10 intermediate heaven path points. For intermediate heaven path points, decomposed odd crystal fragments. Acquired special attributes. Green Smoke Azure C11. 19 million points. Inke Lightning 30. 2 million points. Devil Cold Wind 39. 91 million points. Qianjun Jinhua 29. 84 million points. Acquired attributes. Advanced Thunder Energy 4 points. Water Energy 5 points. Wind Energy 10 points. Consumed 430 intermediate heaven path points. Beginning to create intermediate blue rank and advanced blue rank sure kill skills. Obtained 1889 strengthening points, 12 intermediate heavens path points, 10 earth energy, 19 light energy, 11 water energy, 3199 advanced battle chi essence, 15 advanced cultivation technique essence. Lin Shun frantically decomposed the odd crystal fragments and quickly created a sure kill skill. The Dragon Emperor was also collecting the elemental light balls of the fallen Sun Moon Hall geniuses, and its attribute value soared all the way. No. Lin Shun, spare me. I will never go against you again. I sincerely apologize for attacking your disciple. Don't kill me. Orient Yao was burned beyond recognition by the purgatory fire. His flesh was badly mutilated, and he kept howling in pain. Normally, a 5th Tribulation Combat Emperor's body wouldn't be able to withstand the torture of an advanced blue rank sure kill skill for so long. However, Orient Yao was different. The reason why he didn't die in the Nangong Mie's self-destruction was mainly because of his physique. His body had been nurtured by a sword saint ever since he reached adulthood, and a holy sword had been placed in his body. This holy sword had fused with him and would live and die with him, causing his life force to be slightly stronger than the holy sword. Lin Shin smiled coldly. I said before, I will take your life. From the moment you sneak attacked Ling Shuang, we will not rest until one of us is dead. There is no way out. Opened 4 orange crystal treasure chests. Acquired 999 intermediate talent points, 3 million strengthening points, 500 advanced rune energy, 100 advanced spiritual power. Lin Chen's spiritual bridge had faintly touched a boundary. Once he broke through this boundary, he had a premonition that his spiritual power would undergo a qualitative transformation. Finally, Lin Chen walked in the direction of the Rainbow Bridge. This time, no one dared to stop him. Lin Shun dashed towards the seed of the plant of Kismet. Countless geniuses clenched their teeth and retreated when they saw Lin Chen charging towards them. However, there were still a dozen geniuses who had gone berserk and were charging towards Lin Chen without caring about anything else. A 9-colored starlight was revolving in Lin Chen's palm. He threw out the 9-colored star, The star was divided into 5, and the 9 tribulations star collided with a dozen geniuses head-on. Some of them were super geniuses. No matter how powerful their life-saving trump cards were, everything returned to silence under the rotation of the 5 9-colored light pillars. That move of his is much stronger than the last time. The geniuses who had seen the 9 tribulation star were shocked. Lin Shin stepped on Dragon Flash and grabbed the seed of the plan of Kismet in front of everyone. Because of the seal, he could not store it in his storage ring. If it was before, whoever obtained the seed would be attacked by a large number of geniuses. But now no one dared to touch Lin Shun. This was a deterrent caused by absolute strength. This person had a method that could even suppress a holy beast. After snatching the seed of the plant of Kismet, Lin Shin smiled and stuffed it into Shun Ling Shuang's hands. Come, help Master hold it while channeling your battle chi to undo the seal. Yay, Master is the best. Shun Ling Shuang held the seed in her hands and was in high spirits. Following that, Lin Shun rushed towards the holy artifact that had appeared. It was a jade-green holy bow. This time, no one dared to stop Lin Shun. He directly took the holy bow. Finally, Lin Chun aimed at the battle circle of orange-tier cultivation techniques. F***CK. He's coming. F***CK. What should we do? Are we really going to give it to him? Orange-tier battle technique. How many years has it been since I saw it? If it wasn't sealed, I would have F***King snatched it and run. Hundreds of geniuses roared in their hearts, extremely unwilling. I'll only say this once, get out of my way. Otherwise, I don't mind killing all of you too. Lin Chen warned in a low voice. All the geniuses gritted their teeth. Most of the people participating in the battle for orange-tier cultivation techniques were super first-rate geniuses. No one was willing to give up just like that. Let's take a gamble. What if he doesn't have any more killing moves? Let's fight it out with him. If we attack together, it's not like we can't defeat him. The geniuses' killing intent soared to the sky. They maintained a distance from the orange-tier cultivation technique scroll and launched a wave of attacks at Lin Shun. However, there were also some geniuses who understood the situation and hurriedly retreated. Since you insist on snatching the orange-tier battle technique from me, it means that you're mentally prepared, right? Then I'll send you on your way. Lin Shin's eyes revealed a murderous glint. Orange-tier battle techniques represented the pinnacle of cultivation techniques. Lin Shun, would definitely not let it go. Lin Shun had never been a kind person. Other people's attacks were already on his face. Those who ignored the warning would be killed. You're tuning in to the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.